There's times where you're going to have to do it alone. There's not going to be any team support. There's not going to be any family support. There's not going to be any friend support. There's going to be times where you've got to go and do it yourself, and you got to do it alone. And those are the times that make a difference. Those are the times that count. Those are the times where you have to dig deep yourself to get the job done.
And the type of commitment that I'm speaking of is the commitment that says, I am going to stay true to what I said I would do long after the mood that I've set it in has left.
Because there's some things you just can't get without perseverance. And you're gonna have to fight and fight and fight and fight. And most of you won't be successful, not because you can't do it, but you can't outlast your old you long enough to get to your new you.
And the difference between winners and losers is how we adjust to these hard times. Winners, they understand that the path they've chosen is going to have resistance. They look at it as, well, yeah, I'm tested today, and you know what? I'm gonna pass that test. And whenever they have the hard thing that happens, and then they overcome it, they gain more confidence because they overcame something that the previous version of themselves or the rest of everybody else would have just quit when it happened to them.
Things are going to get harder. Things are going to get tougher. That's the way life works. What you need to do is you need to get harder and you need to get tougher.
Nobody gave me this, I earned it. Life wasn't a crystal stair for me. Didn't nobody give me a network, I earned the network. Everybody say, E, how did you crack the code? I grinded my way through the code. That's how I cracked it. I got up every day at 3. Monday I grind. I ain't never give in. I just keep grinding. There's certain things when you're privileged that mama can buy you, but you can't buy grit, and you can't buy grind, and you can't buy resilience, and you can't buy heart, and you can't buy that dog. I don't care where you come from, I want you to be the best at what you do. You don't need this, or that. All you need to be successful in this world is that dog. You gotta wake up every day and compete. You gotta go after it. Everybody said you don't read well enough. You're not a critical thinker. I'm not, but I'm a beast. You ain't gotta be smart when you a beast. You ain't gotta be the most talented when you a beast. You ain't gotta be the most talented when you got that dog. You gonna have to play hurt. You gonna have to play when stuff is going on. It's a work that separates the boys from the men. Are you ready to do the work? Are you ready to put in the work? Stop whining, stop crying, stop asking. I want your work to go before you. Everybody want to be a beast till it's time to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Everybody want to be number one till it's time to do what number one do. I'm about that life. I get up every morning at 3 o'clock. When I want to get up, when I don't. When I feel like it and I don't feel like. Why? Because I'm process driven. I'm not feelings driven. Champions are not feeling driven. Champions don't get up when they want to. There is a championship coordinate and you can't change that. You gotta be intentional and deliberate. You gotta decide that you're gonna do something and you gotta do it every Monday, every Tuesday, every Wednesday, every Thursday. Consistency is having a goal, and when you wake up that day and you don't feel like it, you still do what you told yourself you was gonna do. It is the days you don't feel like doing it, but you look at your wife, you look at your kid, and you realize, I gotta get up and make it happen, even though I don't wanna get up and make it happen. Set the standard, then raise the standard, then uphold the standard every single day. If you're not willing to do it every single day, you're not going to beat the man that's doing it every single day. Now, some of you like, that's too much. Well, you're not going to be a champion. You're going up against other champions? You think you're going to get 50%? You think you're going to get 70%? And you want what these people who's giving sweat, who's giving blood, who's giving tears, you want what they paid for, and it ain't free. I'm not the best. They better than me, but they have not outworked me. You might be taller than me. You might be bigger than me. You might be stronger than me, but I'm coming, and I'd rather die trying. I'd rather give everything I got. I'd rather give a year. I'd rather put in work and fail to not try it all. The real beast is the last 4 minutes. The real beast is when their legs give out. The real beast when they tired. The real beast find a way to pull something out when nobody else ain't got nothing.
We get up at 5:30 in the morning, it's pissing rain outside. Our competition's sleeping. I love that.
I will not be outworked, period.
Where I excel is ridiculous, sickening work ethic. While the other guy's sleeping, I'm working. While the other guy's eating, I'm working. Talent you have naturally. Skill is only developed by hours and hours and hours of beating on your craft. The commodity, the majority of people who aren't achieving the things that they want is strictly based on hustle. It's strictly based on being outworked. It's strictly based on missing crucial opportunities.
You might outwork me for 30 days or 60 days or 90 days, but you ain't gonna beat me over a year. You can't outwork me over 2 years. I'm gonna get you eventually. I'm a dripping damn faucet. I just keep coming at you. I'm too damn tough to give up. Most people half-ass their life all the time. I knew they were gonna get tired. They were gonna get down. They quit improving themselves. They start sleeping in. I'm not gonna do that stuff. I'm gonna get up early. I'm gonna keep getting wide. I'm gonna stay relentless.
I might not be the fastest, the strongest, the smartest, none of that crap, but I'll outwork you and I flat out want it more than you. It's relentlessness, man. It's pushing past barriers. It's every time you get somewhere, it's wanting to go to the next level.
You guys are entitled to what you're entitled to is an opportunity to show up and be your best. Everyone's like, oh, Craig, you're lucky. You got this, Craig. You're lucky. Everything you do is luck. Bullshit. Because before it was luck, it was a belief. And every day with no one watching at 5 in the morning by myself, I trained it because I believed in it. In hopes that one day my trained ability collided with an opportunity to show it off. That's what luck is. That's what success is. Nothing subjective in there. It's all you.
You gotta look at how much you're working. You gotta look at how much effort you're making, the intention you're putting out there.
You gotta cross the line in life. You gotta go where nobody else wants to go. You gotta work the hours nobody else wants the hours.
You have to resolve yourself today that you're going to dominate, that you're not average and ordinary. There has to become a point where you make a decision. We're gonna dominate. We're here to win. We are not here to play. And that takes some intestinal fortitude. I'm where I'm at because I just flat decided I'm going to be a player. I decided at some point I get to choose who I am. The world doesn't tell me who I am. I write these chapters.
You don't need the world's permission. You don't need anyone's permission to be great. Only permission you need is from who stares at you back in the mirror every day and a willingness to do the hard work longer, harder, and better than anyone. So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna buy another success program looking for the secret recipe that doesn't exist? Or are you gonna go do something right now and do something that brings you closer to greatness? That's your choice.
You're gonna have more days you don't want to do something than you are gonna want to. Most days, you're not gonna be pumped up. Most days, you're gonna feel weak. Most days, you're gonna wanna stay in bed. Most days, you're gonna feel like most people do. But if you do what most people do, which is give yourself reasons to not get the tasks done, not get to work, not get out of bed, you're gonna end up like most people, barely getting by, being unhappy with their lives.
You gotta make a different decision. You gotta decide enough is enough. You've had enough of being average and ordinary. You're tired of being mediocre. You're now gonna push yourself.
It's gonna feel better when it's over. You know that when you get done doing the hard thing, it's gonna feel better. Waking up, working out, taking care of some tedious task. You know you will feel better when it is done. You also know that if you don't do the hard thing, the thing that you don't want to do, that you don't feel like doing, you know if you don't do it, you're going to feel inferior. You know you're gonna feel weak. And that feeling, that horrible feeling, you know that feeling too. You know it. You know it's true. Those are the two outcomes. One will cause you some short-term gratification. You'll get to sleep a little bit more. You won't have to put out during a workout. You don't have to do this tedious task. You'll get some short-term gratification, but the long-term regret will be strong, and it will inflict pain on you.
Successful people do one thing more than others: make movement. They get it done.
While most people are slacking off, relaxing, wasting their time, the winners in the world are putting in work, studying their craft, practicing, running drills on how to perform better, putting in all those extra hours when everyone's already gone home.
And of course, you'll get tired. You'll get worn out. You'll feel exhausted and lazy and not want to work. And you'll have some really, really rough days. But when that happens, you gotta tell yourself, I will not stop. I don't care what I have to go through. I'm gonna get this done, no matter what.
You do what you know you need to do to move forward. And when you do that thing, you know you're gonna feel strong, and you're gonna feel gratified, and you're gonna feel worthy of this life. That's how you're gonna feel when you do what you're supposed to do. Remember that. Remember that the pain right now will absolutely pay off in the future. And the capitulation and the conceding defeat to weakness, that will absolutely result in the pain of regret and remorse later. You know this to be true, so don't allow it. Remember the feeling of victory that comes from doing the right thing, the hard thing. Remember that feeling, and then go get it done.
The work comes before the belief. You're gonna have to do some work, and you're gonna have to keep doing it consistently, even when you're not seeing the results, even when you feel like giving up. And eventually, results will begin to sprout as you do this. And when that happens, you're gonna build faith, build belief in what it is you're doing. You start to realize, hey, I can really do this. This is actually working. And as you work more success sprouts.
You're going to start to create something. You have no motivation, you have no drive, you have no ambition, but you're going to force it to happen anyway because that's what bad do, and that's what you are. You're going to go through day by day by day doing the work regardless of how you feel like it. And then what's going to happen is you're going to see a little bit of a result. And when you see that little bit of result, you're going to get happy. And what's going to happen in your brain is it's going to open up the possibilities for you of what you can actually achieve, because now you can clearly see that if I do the work, this result will happen. And when this result starts to happen, you get excited. And guess what comes with the excitement? The motivation.
The inches we need to become dominant in any field of life are all around us. It's in every task, every project, every mission, every day, every second. When you do the small things, how do you do them? Because if you're putting in 120% in those small tasks, I know for sure you're doing it in everything else.
It's the people who are willing to do twice as much as anyone else. Those are the people who end up winning. You go the extra mile, you push through the extra round, you do those extra reps. That's what defines if you become first or forgotten.
Champions are focused on the goal. They don't have time to be doing stuff that's not going to help them toward the goal. And so what you're focusing on throughout the course of the day, it has to change. What you're looking at, what you're reading, what you're watching, the conversations you have.
You gotta be focused entirely on your dreams, entirely on your goals. When you're great, you don't just focus on a week, you don't just focus on a month, you don't just focus on a year. You concentrate on the 24 hours that's in front of you and work as hard as possible to nail it.
You dominate in the dark. When nobody sees you, when no one knows what you're doing, those late hours and early mornings where you're working your ass off, nothing feels better than giving everything you have to the grind.
And a lot of people are confused as to how high drive, high success people can wake up every day and go at it. It's because they know that even if they feel bad, even if they don't feel like doing it, if they push through just a little bit, just a few more days, they're gonna see something that is gonna start to make them feel good. It's gonna give them belief, it's gonna get them motivation, and it's gonna make them feel like doing this is absolutely worth it, and not only worth it, but exciting. So if you're in this phase where it doesn't feel like it's worth it, where it doesn't feel like it's very fun, just remember, if you keep going and you do not let your feelings dictate what your actions will be, the results will always be there.
When you get to sit back and unwind after working yourself to the bone for those goals and dreams, you'll feel a sense of pride you might have never felt before. But you only ever get to that point if you get up and get to work.
The time of year, we try to make our dreams come true. But the reality of all that is sacrifice. And those dreams quickly become nightmares. But in those nightmares are where our demons lie. That's the domain in which they know we don't want to go into on those early mornings. It wakes up all these things that we failed at. Those demons are in those nightmares. That's what keeps us from accomplishing our dreams. So this year, their back is turned to the doorway. Because they know you ain't going into nightmare land, but you're going in there. And when the backs are turned, you're going to rear naked choke them out. Every one of them. That's the mentality you must have. And always have.
People want to find peace immediately. You're going to find peace from going to war with yourself.
Make a declaration to yourself. Declare all out war that you're going to get out of this rut.
We are in control of our mind. We believe it's the other way around.
No, we put in our minds what we should do. We have to reprogram it and tell us, no, we're good. This sucks, but it's okay.
If you don't program yourself, life will program you. In order to begin to reinvent your life, you've got to make a conscious, deliberate, determined effort. You really got to put all of yourself into it. It's very challenging to act, to do those things. There are times when you're looking at it and you say, I know I need to do this, but I don't feel like it.
What most of us are looking for is a special feeling of, oh, I feel great this morning. I'm gonna get out of bed and get a quick 5 miles and go to the gym. You're looking for that feeling. Let me tell you one thing, it ain't gonna come. You have to learn to do when you don't want to do. Learn to bring that savage mentality out of yourself. The animalistic one. You think a savage gets up about how he feels or how she feels? Then just do it. Learn to be your best self when you're least motivated. Stop looking for a feeling to control what goes on in your life.
You should quit quitting. Any path you take to get where you want to be, if that place is worthwhile to go, it's going to be hard. So quit judging your quitting based upon how hard something is, because every single path that you could possibly take to get somewhere where you want to be is going to be hard. Struggle, pain, misery, frustration, those are signs that you are on the right path and making progress. Nobody that is where you want to be has gotten there without these struggles, without the bleeding, without the pain, without the depression, without the misery. Nobody. And if you want to be something great, you are going to have to learn to accept the struggle as part of the recipe. Every single day you need to look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, what am I willing to do to get what I want? And if the answer is whatever I have to, you'll get there in time.
You're setting the example every single day of your life. You have to constantly that machine. The machine is your mind. You got to keep challenging it every day.
The price of regret is much heavier than the price of discipline. You never want to wake up one day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year down the road and go, man, I wish I would have listened to my gut. I wish I would have done this thing. You don't want to live in regret. If there's something you want to get done in work, your relationships, school, whatever it is, do it.
Life is one big head game. And once you learn to play that game, it's no longer a game anymore at all. You can start living your life.
If you hit a tree 1,000 times in 1,000 different spots, the tree is not going to fall. But if you hit a tree 1,000 times in that same exact spot, it's going to come to the ground. Your problem is you did hit it 1,000 times, but in 1,000 different places. You need to do me a huge favor. Stop trying to be deep. I need you to do the exact same thing every single day for the next 10, 15, 20 years and watch that tree come down. And watch you go from zero to a multi-million-dollar company. Nothing's changed, guys. I'm doing the exact same thing I was doing 20 years ago. I just keep doing it. And your problem is you're not intentional and deliberate. You wake up on Monday and you might be strong, but by Wednesday, are you hearing what I'm telling you? You're not intentional and deliberate. You are hoping that the best is going to happen to you, and the best never happens to you. You got to be intentional and deliberate, whether you're making money or not making money. You got to decide that you're going to do something, and you got to do it every Monday, every Tuesday, every Wednesday, every Thursday. The problem with some of you in this room, you're not intentional and deliberate. You're a good person that just hopes the good stuff is going to happen to you.
You still got work to do. Stay on that basketball court. Stay on that football field. All the homies texting and calling and trying to make you feel bad about being so focused. It's grind season, homie. It's not about today. It's about the future.
There's only two ways you can be. You can be the person who learns a little bit, who does a little bit, and then who decides that this shit really isn't for them and moves on to something else and repeats that cycle over and over and over again. Or you can be the person who's committed. You can be the person who says, this is going to fucking work no matter what happens. No matter how frustrated I get. No matter how angry I get. No matter what happens in the world. No matter what, I'm fucking doing this. Those are the people that are going to win.
You gotta stop telling yourself that you're doing enough. You have to do more. In life, it's never enough until you feel this overwhelming feeling of, man, I'm outworking the crowd. I'm outworking everybody. I'm doing more. Once you get there, that's when you know you've done enough. You gotta do your best work when you're least motivated. So those days you don't want to do it, you gotta second the up to do it.
People who do stuff consistently and on time, they surpass people who talented and gifted.
You guys have got to believe in yourself. Headstrong, mentally tough. It's the only way through the bullshit here in life. The winners, the difference between them and the spectators is the winners have a belief that overrides the crowd's disbelief every single time. Their belief is so strong, even though they hit failure, they get knocked on the ass. They're finding the intentional fortitude to stand back up again, face that same challenge, learning from the previous mistakes, and make it happen. Winners fail a million times. What makes them a winner is that they believe it, they're headstrong. Nothing's gonna stop them. There is no excuse for not being the hardest worker. Yeah, someone might be bigger, stronger, faster, quicker, younger, whatever else, but there is no excuse to not be the hardest f***ing worker there. No longer are we gonna accept rhymes and society's rhyme the reason that we are average. Average is a weak mentality. We must believe it so much so that we're arrogant about it. We must be soft for excellence.
The easy route never pays well. The only route in life that pays well is the hard route.
You're working out and you want to die. Feel the death happening in you. Feel the pain happening in your legs as you rep out one more squat. Because it'll be all the more pleasurable when you reach the inevitable other end of the spectrum where you're laying in your hammock, sipping on a protein shake. Boy, I really went hard. I really went hard on that set. I really went hard in school. I really went hard in my career. I really went hard in life. Go hard. Die hard.
Life can throw you some curves. And it's not just the things that you see coming, but sometimes it's the things that you didn't see coming that hit you out of nowhere, that set you back in such a way that it seems like you can't get over. And you've reached your limit and your bandwidth is full. And you already said, I can't take another thing. And then out of nowhere, here comes something you didn't see coming and you're in it.
And in your homes, somewhere in your heart, these words are echoing. Am I going to make it?
When you get into a tight spot and everything goes against you until it seems that you cannot hold on for a minute longer, never give up then, for that is just the place and time that the tide will turn. There are times when your energy feels so depleted that you want to give up, that it looks just totally impossible. And I can tell you from my own personal experience, don't give up then. That's when you've got to fall forward, when life is kicking dirt in your face. Don't give up then. That's when most people turn back.
As long as you're alive, there is hope.
You're still alive. You're still here.
It's never too late, and it's never too dark, and we can always turn things around.
There's going to be bad days, there's going to be dark days, but you got to embrace it because that pain is what makes you stronger.
Pain is the high cost of growth. If you want to grow up, you want to be mature, there is no way to do it without pain. You can't grow up on easy street. And the very thing that discourages you is the very thing that develops you.
What I need you to do is I need you to find a reason to keep going. And if you can find a reason to keep going, I know you're strong enough to do it because you're human. And every human has what it takes to get past whatever they're going through if they decide to push through it. Tragedy and trials come to everybody. Only the strong survive.
You have the opportunity to show the world what you are really made of.
And there are those of you were this close, but you compromised. You let your feelings get the best of you. And you let a little pain stop you from your dream. Girl, you was there. You was running your business. You were there. I didn't quit because people didn't understand. I worked harder when people didn't support me. You better grind, because if you don't, you will be stuck at that adversity for the rest of your life. Whatever it is, you'll be stuck there. Why don't I get something for it? You ain't got to have the best hand in life. You ain't got to start with the two-parent background. You ain't got to start with wealth. You ain't got to start with your parents graduated. It's not the hand that you dealt. It's how you play your hand. When people die or people get sick or something happens in your life, if all you're doing it for is a car and a house, that can stop you. But if you're doing it for your mom, for your siblings, for your family, for your community, nothing can stop you. You cannot be broken. When you have an intrinsic goal, when you're doing it because you value it, when you're doing it because you can, when you're doing it because it represents who you are, when it's internal, nothing can stop you. No mountain, no trial, no tribulation, nothing can stop you when it's deeper than just money and stuff. I can. I will. I must. It's going to rain sometimes. I will. You're going to feel discouraged sometimes. I will. No matter what the obstacle, I will. I will. I will. I must. What's that thing that's gonna pump you up and get you over that mountain? What's gonna pump you up and get you past that disease? What's gonna pump you up and get you past bankruptcy? What's gonna pump you up and get you to the other doggone side? Despite the circumstance, you can win. Despite the adversity, you can win. I'm trying to tell you, you can win. I'm trying to tell you, I don't care how big the giant is, you can win. I want you to go in confidence that you've never had before. And every giant in your life, slay him. You go back and slay him. Don't kill him, slay him.
My glory doesn't happen in front of a crowd. It doesn't happen in a stadium or on a stage. There are no medals handed out. It happens in the darkness of the early morning, in solitude, where I try, and I try, and I try again, with everything I have to be the best that I can possibly be, better than I was yesterday. Better than people thought I could be, better than I thought I could be. Then claim one victory that no one can ever take away from me, ever. A victory that is earned every single day. A victory of determination and will and discipline. A victory achieved because I will not stop.
It's the character of who you are. It's not the title that makes you. It's not the success that makes you. The character defines the success, defines the fame, and it starts right there. Championships aren't won in the theater or the arena. They're won in the thousands of hours in the training room, in the labs, in the 5 a.m. runs, when it's raining, when everyone else is sleeping. That's when it's won. How you hold yourself in the small things of life. Build the character winning blocks of the things that we'll remember for. Do the job right or don't do it at all. That's the same person who has his hand raised on the podium one day. Same motherfuckers. It's how you look at something. If your name's attached to it, then you do it right. The best of your ability every single time.
Some of y'all are so caught up on the game that you don't get it. It is in practicing. It is in eating right. It is in making good decisions that you look a certain way. It is how you practice. It is what you do that makes you look like you look. It is the process of the grind that shapes you and forms you. It's not the game. And that's why most of y'all get beat in the game or make mistakes in the game, because you think grinding is what happens when the sun comes out. You think grinding is what happens when the lights come on. You think grinding is what happens when people get in the stage. That's not grind. The real grind is in the dark when nobody sees you, when nobody knows what you're doing. When you studying without coach, when you putting in those extra reps, when you watching those videos and you getting inspired, when you change your music, it's the process that makes you sweet. And the problem with some of y'all is you want somebody else to support your dream. It's yours. If you wanted to have it, get your butt up and make it happen. If you wanted to have it, rise and grind, because this is my time. Tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. Ain't no such thing as tomorrow. We only got today.
It begins right now with no one looking, man. And how you hold yourself, how you see yourself. What do you do when no one's watching? If you do it then, I guarantee you, you'll be doing it when everyone's watching.
That voice, the one telling you it's okay to slack off, is the same voice that will keep you stuck where you are. It's the voice of comfort, of staying the same, and it's as tempting as it is dangerous. This voice, it's sneaky. It makes excuses sound reasonable, laziness feel justified, and quitting seem like an option. But it's all a trap.
You've got to recognize that voice for what it is, a barrier to your success. It's not your friend or your ally, it's the enemy of your potential. Every time you listen to it, you give away a piece of your progress, a chunk of your dreams.
When you hear that little voice start to kick in, shut it down immediately.
Do not listen to that little weak voice. That weakness in your head is trying to get you to take the easier route. And that easier route may be easier in the beginning, but it will prove to be longer and more painful than the hard route.
And what's the hard route? The hard route's getting up when you know you need to get up. It's studying when you know you should be studying. It's getting to work on time when you need to be working. It's putting in those extra reps when you know you need to stretch yourself to get stronger.
You need to cultivate a different voice in your head, the voice of resilience, of determination, of grit. This is the voice that says, get up, even though you're tired. It's the voice that tells you to keep pushing when everything in you wants to stop. This is the voice of a champion, and it's the one you need to listen to.
Remember, the path to greatness is littered with challenges, but these challenges are not there to stop you. They're there to test you, to make you stronger, to prepare you for what's to come. Every time you overcome a challenge, you grow. You become more than you were before.
When you can get to the point where you are willing to do what sucks every day and continue to get stuff done no matter how much you don't feel like doing it, you will change everything in your life for the better.
The most successful people in the world are the ones who can go against their feelings and do things that are hard, independent of their feelings, toward the mission they set out to complete.
I need you to flat out decide, what's it gonna be? Are you gonna get up and get things done today? Yes or no? Are you gonna study today? Yes or no? Are you gonna put in the work to improve yourself today? Yes or no? Stop leaving room for negotiation with your feelings and emotions. Your feelings will never cooperate with your dreams. I need you to separate yourself from your feelings and disregard them. Because when you can take control of them, you will become a disciplined, goal-achieving machine.
This is where you transform, where you become unstoppable. It's not just about doing the hard stuff. It's about loving the challenge, embracing the struggle. Your potential is limitless. When you push past what you thought was possible, when you defy your own limitations, that's when you truly start living. You're no longer a slave to your comfort zone. You're a master of your destiny. Every step forward, every task completed, it's a victory. It's a testament to your strength, your willpower, your determination.
Turn your ambitions into action. Let every heartbeat, every breath be a reminder of your goals. This is your time, your moment. Push harder, go further, be bolder.
You're not just doing this for today. You're setting the stage for tomorrow, for the rest of your life. Every decision, every action is a building block for your future. This isn't just about the goals you achieve, it's about the person you become in the process.
As you build this future, your vision becomes clear. Each step, each victory sharpens your focus. Your goals are no longer distant dreams, but achievable realities. With every challenge you overcome, you see your future self more clearly.
Discipline is the weapon that destroys mediocrity. Every time you choose to wake up early instead of hitting snooze, every time you pick the salad over the burger, every time you hit the gym, even when you're dead tired, you're striking a blow against weakness. You strengthen your mind every time you do this hard and push through it. You armor your mind by becoming gritty.
Nobody's gonna hand you life. You gotta do it. If you're gonna make those dreams and goals happen, it's on you to make it happen. And that takes discipline. It means being your own toughest coach, your own most demanding trainer, and not allowing yourself off the hook. You force yourself to do the very best you can, every time.
You don't get to make excuses. You don't get to back down. You keep moving, keep striving, keep pushing the envelope of what you thought was possible.
If you want to get to the next level, if you want to do it, if you want to live it, if you want to be it, stop talking about it and start being full committed. Become the person who says, this is going to work. No matter what happens, no matter how frustrated I get, no matter how angry I get, no matter what gets in the way, I am doing this.
You've got to be relentless in your pursuit of greatness. Every day is a new round in the ring, and you've got to come out swinging. Train your mind to crave progress over comfort, growth over stagnation. Condition yourself to find satisfaction in the grind, to get a thrill from the challenge.
The discipline you're building is not just for today or tomorrow or next week, it's for life. You're sculpting a version of yourself that can handle any challenge, overcome any obstacle, achieve any goal. Be the master of your destiny, not the slave of your desires.
At the very moment when everything in you wants to do absolutely nothing, you gotta get the job done. Stop having dialogue with your emotion. Stop negotiating with your feelings and start to act. That's where people separate themselves from the pack.
That's where people earn the right to success. They earn the money, they earn the life, they earn the relationship, they earn the body in those little moments where they don't want to do what they need to do, but move forward regardless of how they feel. That's what champions know, champions understand, and champions thrive on.
Every single day when you wake up, you got two options. You can look at the clock and hit the snooze. You can look at that snooze button, boom. You can hit the snooze button and go back to bed and dream about what you want to have. Or you can look at that snooze button, kick that clock and get up and go pursue your dreams.
You need to walk through the mud in life, guys, if you ever want to get to the higher ground. The higher ground is where you look in the mirror and you have respect and you've run through the work, sweat equity at all. And the end product is something you can be proud of, a legacy in life, and you put your signature to. That means something. You're not speaking hollow words. You're making those words of action.
And your problem is you're not intentional and deliberate. You wake up on Monday and you might be strong, but by Wednesday, you're not intentional and deliberate. You are hoping that the best is gonna happen to you, and the best never happens to you. You gotta decide that you're gonna do something, and you gotta do it every Monday, every Tuesday, every Wednesday, every Thursday. The problem with some of you in this room, you're a good person that just hopes the good stuff is gonna happen to you. If dreams were easy, everybody would make them happen. The problem is that most people, they can't get up in the morning. They ain't got no energy. Some stuff is just, you gotta be powerful. You wake up, take you 3 weeks to do what it can take 24 hours to do. It don't make you a bad person, but you're gonna forever be average, because to be great, you got to keep up. Take full ownership of your time, of your mind, of your day.
I still grind. I love to grind. If you're competing in one of my businesses, I'm gonna kick you because I'm gonna outgrind you.
There's some out there who wants what you have, who wants the position you are, who wants the job you have, who wants the wife that you have, or the husband. There's someone out there hungry and wants everything you have. So make that a motivation for you.
And mental toughness says, not only do I climb that doggone mountain, I enjoy climbing the mountain. I get a kick out the mountain. I get a kick out the weights. I get a kick out of fatigue. I get a kick out of the grind. I get a kick out of it. You take advantage of this opportunity. You let everything else go. You eat different. You study different. You practice different. And I'm telling you, you have not given yourself enough credit to say, I just need to get up a half hour earlier and my whole life will change. I just need to get up 1 hour early. I just need to work 1 hour longer. If you were to make that one change, that one sacrifice, you would stop dreaming and start living it. What do you want in your marriage? What do you want in your health? What do you want financially? How much money do you want to make a year? What do you want to drive? How do you want to live? Not just waking up like an accident. What do you want? And then once you find out what you want, spend the rest of your natural life waking up and going after it.
Some of you right now, you're in the worst pain you've ever been in. Your marriage is falling apart. Your family is falling apart. That sickness in your life is getting worse. You've failed over and over and over again, and you don't know what you're gonna do now. And you reach a point where you're not sure how you can possibly get out of this mess.
And it's not one thing that breaks you. It's everything. It's everything you've been through. All the years before, compounding together. And just to find out that the things are never going to stop coming at you, that finally brings you to the point that you say, I'm not sure if I want to get up out of bed today, if all I'm going to face is another fight.
And this is the point that can either make you or break you. This moment right here can become your biggest turning point for the better, or the moment you lose everything.
The choice is yours of what it becomes. You choose the outcome by your choices. Do you give up, or do you get up?
When you're in that hole and surrounded by darkness, you have to remember, this is not the end for you.
you can still change your circumstances. It doesn't matter what's happened, how much pain you've endured, who's betrayed you, what's gone wrong. The only thing that matters right now is what are you gonna do about it?
Things are always gonna go wrong in life. That's a part of it. But you have to become more powerful to be able to push through those battles. Things won't get easier, so you gotta get stronger.
You have to find the reasons that make it worth fighting for. Because if you can find a why, you can get through anyhow. If you're doing it for a car or a house, you will quit. But if you're doing it for your family, if you're doing it for your spouse, if you're doing it for what it represents about you, you can make it through anything.
And if you can pull yourself together, if you can find a way out of no way, if you can find opportunities where most would see dead ends, if you can find life where others see death, you can make your dreams, your goals, your vision a reality.
When there's a will, there's a way. When you want something bad enough, you'll find a way and you'll stop at nothing to reach it.
I need you to remember that it's always darkest before dawn. I need you to remember that you are still here. You are still alive. And as long as you're still alive, as long as you're still breathing, you have another chance to come back once again. When life punches you and clobbers you to the ground, it's your job to find the strength, find the intestinal fortitude to pick yourself up and fight back. Life's not always gonna be easy. Sometimes you gotta fight for what you know you deserve.
It takes believing in an outcome that is in your favor. And make no mistake about it, most people won't see it for you. Most people will tell you to give up. Most people will think you're wasting your time. But you are not most people. You've got to believe in the possibilities for you and your future so strong that it outweighs anyone else's opinions. You need to have something that knocks you to your knees. That's the only way you ever discover what's inside of you.
Life doesn't give you what you want. Life gives you what you'll accept. If you'll accept failure, hardships, disappointment, that's exactly what life's gonna give you. If you wanna win, you gotta show up and demand success and fulfillment and happiness for yourself.
In spite of all those feelings every day of wanting to give up, of quitting, of throwing in the towel, in spite of all that, it's going to be your ability to somehow, some way, to muster up the courage to flush that out, to reach down deep and find something inside of you that will allow you to go for it one more time.
Adversity defines true character.
Don't quit, don't collapse, don't faint, don't give in. Either way you go, you gotta fight.
All of us, we got the same ending. We're gonna die. So if you know you're gonna die, why are you playing it safe? I'm gonna build something. I'm gonna make something happen. I am not gonna live and die and not leave anything in the earth as a sign that I was here. I'm gonna build something. I'm gonna harness this challenge and turn it into my triumph because I will not stop.
There's all kinds of different ways to break. You can break physically, you can break mentally, you can break your heart, you can break your spirit, and none of those are fun, and all of those are gonna leave a mark. But the mark that they leave can be the mark of victory, or it can be the mark of defeat. When I'm broken, I relish it. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use it. Because if I'm broken, then I just found my limitations. And until I know what my limitations are, how can I push them? How can I get better? Once I feel it, once I see where I was broken, then I can attack that weakness. I can fill in that gap. I can reinforce that breach. If you break, it means it's time to fortify your will to make it stronger. Because every time you break, and in every way that you break, while
it's a chance for you to give up and for you to fall apart. But there's also opportunity. There's opportunity to get stronger, and get smarter, and get faster, and get tougher, and get more stable, and get more resilient, and get better. When you break, you have the opportunity to show the world, the whole world, what you are really made of. The fight isn't over. The fight is just beginning. And as you crawl up and out of that dismal and wretched place, covered, and you're covered in blood and sweat and dirt and filth as you rise above what you were. And as you take the form of who you are supposed to be, you will see that in the very act of standing up, in the very act of fighting on, you will become and you will remain unbroken.
Life is going to beat you to the ground. Life will break you. Just when you think you've been through the most hell you'll ever face, it'll hit you even harder. And you'll think about quitting every single day.
I know what it's like to wake up every day with a sense of dread, and you don't know how you're gonna make it, and you're all alone. And you've got to say to yourself, when you fail again and again, after facing rejection after rejection, many times with tears in your eyes, it's possible. When life knocks you down, sometimes you gotta take 2 steps back in order to move forward.
When you're in that darkness, it's very easy to think you're hopeless. It's very easy to believe it's over for you. It's very easy to feel defeated. It's very easy to sit there and hope that something or someone will come and save you. But the truth is, you gotta save yourself.
You can't sit there and wait for the light to come. You've got to move forward and step your way into the light. That darkness is temporary, and you can fight your way out of it. It only takes willpower.
You think this is it for you? This is far from it. You gotta change your mindset. You gotta start thinking in ways you haven't thought before. You gotta start seeing possibilities for your life you haven't seen before.
You can achieve more than you think you can. You're capable of things that would surprise yourself.
You've got to start using your mind to find new ways to break through all these roadblocks in front of you. When you have the will, you'll find a way. And there is always a way. You can get through whatever is in front of you if you decide to.
You just gotta stand for what you believe in and don't let anything turn you around. This is your life. This is your dream. Nobody's gonna fight for what you want more than you. If it's gonna happen, it's up to you to make it happen. If you can focus on finding those ways to win and stop focusing on the ways you're losing, you can make it.
Everything in your way is just life testing you. Do not fail the test. Rise up and destroy these barriers.
The people who win, the most common trait they have is they find solutions, while the losers find problems.
The winners are relentlessly working to move their lives into a better state of being. They don't care about the facts. They don't care about the odds. All they do is make a plan and execute the plan.
If you change your way of thinking and start seeing the possibilities for you and your current situation, you'll start moving toward victory and away from feeling helpless.
But you have got to affirm to yourself that you have what it takes to get through this. Your mind and spirit need to be aligned in the feeling of certainty that I will not stop until I succeed. I will make it happen, no matter what it takes, that this is nothing but a temporary inconvenience. There is nothing that can stop me from reaching my dream.
Most people won't do that. Most people give up so easily. They never use the real power inside them to do anything great because they can't see those possibilities for their life.
Your vision and your perspective of how you see your life is what dictates what you become. If you only ever see yourself as doing just enough to get by, that's all you'll ever achieve. But if you see yourself doing massive things, living beyond what other people could possibly conceive, that's exactly what you'll get. Where your focus goes, your energy flows.
So when you're going through turbulence on your path to success, you've got to hold that vision firmly in your mind.
Don't allow this negative world to throw you off course. Hold the vision and keep walking toward it.
Your mind is your strongest weapon. It has the ability to adapt to any level of pain or difficulty imaginable. It's up to you to harness its power and use it to create new things for you.
You can become more creative, more intelligent, more unstoppable. It's only a matter of your mind. You control your mind, you control your life.
And when you control your mind, there is nothing out of reach for you. You can be, do, and have whatever you want. The only one who can stop you is you.
Some of you have had a marriage fall apart. Some of you have been disappointed in a dream, in a desire, in a goal, in an ambition. And things just haven't worked out the way you wanted them to. And you're starting maybe to feel sometimes a little hopeless. It'll never change. I'll never change. Nothing's ever going to be any different.
And we rationalize with ourselves to where we automatically stop. That's why a bunch of us give up so much in life so quickly. But suppose I told you the greatest pain of my life is the reason I'm standing here today. See, sometimes we think the pain is what controls us. It's actually our subconscious mind. That if we ever tapped into that, that's what dictates most of our lives. If you don't control pain, it'll control you.
What is it that will make it worth it for you? To face the rejections, to brainstorm and not be intimidated and say, I can do this. What is it that will make it worth it for you to raise the bar on yourself and say, I've got some more stuff in me? What is it that will make it worth it for you to know your vitamin, that you become empowered by it? What is it that will make it for you when you want to give up and things are working against you? What is it that will help you get back up again?
When everything's relaxed and peaceful. Yes, we know what we want to be. We know the person we want to become, right? It's very easy and calculated in that rhyme to reason when nothing's on the line. But as soon as the heart starts to race, or the bill and the pressure of the lifestyle, the wife, the family, or the job, all of a sudden, we start to settle.
I don't want to be that person that's great when everything is going all good, but when something goes wrong, they flee and they want nothing to do with it. I want to be that person that's going to show up rain, sleet, or snow, and they're going to give you everything they got. You got to take my life before you take my drive. I'm talking concrete commitment. I'm talking a commitment that says, I am going to stay true to what I said I would do long after the mood that I've set it in has left. Because character is not something we inherit. Character is something we got to wake up every single day. We got to fight it. We got to build it. In the midst of adversity, in the midst of challenges, in the midst of failures, we got to get up every single day and we got to fight for peace. We got to fight for happiness. We got to fight for joy.
Don't quit. Don't give up. Don't be a victim. Don't take the easy path. Don't squander this life. Instead, live with fortitude.
There's times where you think, is there anything that can justify as to why I'm always going through something hard? Sometimes nothing ever makes sense that you're going through. I'm going through hurt, I'm going through pain, there's death in my family, there's sickness everywhere. But I tell you what, you can't throw in the towel. It just means it's time for you to fight harder. It's time for you to stand tall. Lift your heads to the sky and say, I will overcome this. I will fight back. There's always something good that can come from bad.
We live in a world, ladies and gentlemen, where people want instant gratification. They want it right now. No, it's simple, but it's not easy. It's a system that if you work the system, it works if you work it. But make no mistake about it, it's hard. And you are the determining factor. The people that make it in this world look around for the circumstances that they want, and if they can't find them, they create them. It's you that you must take personal responsibility to make it happen. It's hard. No, easy is not an option. However, ladies and gentlemen, what you will discover is that it's worth it.
If people ask you, say, how you doing? Even if you're having some difficult times, say, I'm blessed and highly favored. Because anytime you wake up and you don't have a white chalk outline around your body, it's a great day.
So I say to you, it's possible you can live your dream. If it's becoming a diamond, if it's having more, if it's achieving more, if it's being a better father, being a better mother, whatever it is, it's possible you can live your dream. It's necessary that you have a plan of action, that you're resilient, that you stick to, and you work with the system, that you have the vision and never give up, that you become creative and relentless and keep on coming back again and again and again, and that it's you that you got to take personal responsibility to make it happen, and that it's hard. Easy is not an option. And when life knocks you down, jump back up and say, it's not over until I win.
Sweat equity. Sweat equity. There's some things you're not willing to quit when you've invested that much into it. Some of y'all, you can quit because you ain't putting nothing in it. You ain't put enough work in it. You can just turn your back on it because you didn't put that much work into it. There's some stuff in my life I can't turn my back on it. I work too hard to walk away from certain things because I put too much in it. And some of you can easily walk away from stuff. It doesn't mean nothing to you. But if this company means something to you, if this opportunity means something to you, you wouldn't quit and you wouldn't give up and you wouldn't give in.
It's called character. You will grow through what you go through. The question is, are you willing to go through it? Sometimes a setback and you being in the dumps and miserable and frustrated about all of these things that keep going wrong and wrong and wrong and wrong, and you're looking for something to go right. When it finally starts going right, you're going to appreciate it that much more.
You cry, you're hurt. At the end of the crying and the hurt, don't give me a story. I don't need a story. At the end of it, I need you to get a reward. You already cried. You've already sacrificed parties. You've already given up sports. You've already given up a whole lot of stuff. And now you're about to cry and give up. You're about to cry and go home. If you were going to quit, you should have quit before you started. You don't come this far. You don't invest this much time. You don't invest this much energy to get up. Recycle your pain. You can decide the shape, the form. You can decide the product that comes from your pain. Get something from it. You already in pain. Use it. Do something with it. Allow it to take you to the next level. Allow your pain to push you to greatness. This is what I need you to do for me. When you walk out of here, I just need you to keep walking toward it. I don't need you thinking about it no more. You're doing too much thinking. You analyze it too much. You're talking yourself out of it. I don't know if this is going to work. I tried and it didn't work. I just need you to keep moving. I need you to make up in your mind that the only way you can lose is if you quit. I just need you to keep going. When you out there dealing with the real world, it ain't pretty. You got to have heart. Get some heart. It can be fixed and you can fix it. But when you pointing fingers and you talking about, I can't believe stuff change. The weather change every day. You don't complain about that. When you get out there, I need you killed or be killed when you get out there. We ain't playing no more. We ain't taking no prisoners no more. When you get out there, whatever you can get, go get it. Because they gonna get it before you get it. And they ain't gonna give it to you. So you go out there and get what's yours. Ain't nobody about to give you your personal freedom. If you're going to get your personal freedom, they ain't giving it away. You gotta go get it. You gotta go earn it. That test might not go away. That pain might not go away. That fight might not go away. You are a warrior. It's time for you not to back up, not to give up, not to give in. You are a warrior. It's time to fight.
If you're going through trials and tribulations, the best thing you can do is handle it. The worst thing you can do is panic.
If you ever study an eagle, you see that an eagle flies best when there's storms and winds, because it doesn't have to flap. It uses the wind from the storm to elevate. And so I don't care what your trials and tribulations are, elevate yourself, get beyond the clouds.
Don't worry about your haters. Your haters are like pigeons. Pigeons can only fly so high.
And so you don't have to worry about people and circumstances and situations. You just fly up to an altitude that they can't go to.
You are in control. Not the little voice that gives you all the doubts and gives you all the negativity and gives you all the questions. You, the successful you, are in control. And you've got to continually beat that into your brain every time that little negative voice comes around that makes you feel insecure, that makes you feel less confident, that makes you feel like you're not enough.
Stop being a victim. Stop letting life push you around and start fighting back. Because the minute you tell yourself that you control this, is the minute you can start to change it. It all starts the moment you take responsibility and say to yourself, I can make out of this life what I want, and no one and nothing is going to shape my destiny but me. You've got to stare all that in the face and say, you can't beat me, I'm too strong.
Many start, but few finish. And that few that finish, that just keep on there in spite of the pain, in spite of the agony, they just keep on. And once they break through that wall, now it's just automatic. It's not a question of whether or not you will do it, it's done. Where you stop worrying, where you begin to trust, you get still and begin to know that you are entitled to this, you're supposed to have this. This is your calling, this is the reason that you are here, this is your time. It's done. When you no longer focus on the obstacles, when you no longer care what people think or what they might say, when you no longer find the need to seek their approval, it's done. It's done. When you say whatever price I must pay, I will do that. It's done when the pressure within you is greater than the pressure outside of you.
It's one thing to believe when you got money in your pocket. It's one thing to believe when your marriage is working out and you got your health and your children acting like they got good sense. It's easy to believe then. Oh, but when you get that diagnosis, say you ain't gonna be here long. When you lose your job, when someone you thought you'd be with for the rest of your life said, no, we can't do this no more. There will be times when you will feel alone, and you will feel deserted, when you'll feel weak and you'll doubt yourself, and other people will doubt you, and you ask yourself, am I crazy? Maybe I am dreaming. Maybe I don't have what it takes. That's gonna happen.
It is literally at the darkest moment when it dawns. You don't really even get to the next level to your darkest moments. Stop tripping when it get dark and you running. You running from your success. Like, why would you do something for 10 years then quit? Why would you do something for 11 years then quit? So for a lot of you, if you was gonna quit, you should have quit when you put your first grand in it. You like 20,000 deep now. You like 9,800 hours deep into it. It only takes 10,000 hours.
Pain doesn't leave us the same. It's like problems. It's like failure. It moves us. It either moves us forward and we get better, or we have a wrong attitude and it moves us backward and then we get bitter.
You don't get to choose when or why you go through pain. That's out of your control. But you always get to decide how you respond, how you handle it, what you do about it.
Life is tough. You may have been overlooked, underrated, overshadowed, underestimated. You may not have the money, the resources, the perfect genetics, or the perfect past. But I'll tell you this, if you have a 5-letter word called heart, that is all you will ever need. You are the hero you have been waiting for. And see, the hero cannot start at the top. That's a boring movie. The only way you can start at the top is if you're digging a hole. The greater the challenge, the greater the growth. As long as your heart says yes, you can overcome a million no's. You will face doubters. They all have the same disease. It's called possibility blindness. They can only see with their eyes. It is literally necessary to have haters to be doubted. This whole world will discourage you. People will try to ruin you. But if you follow your heart, you can dodge the bullets that they shoot at you. You can build a mansion with the bricks that they throw at you. Just make the decision now for the future you.
We've got to auto-correct the negativity. We don't look at the problem. We look at the solution. We don't look at the story of us losing. We look at the story of us winning. And we tell ourselves that by continually selling ourselves on our own life. This is the vision I have for my life. This is the way it's going to be. These are my goals. This is who I am. This is my plan. These are my values. And I don't need anyone to validate me. I don't need anyone to believe in me. All I need to do is execute and believe in the work.
I'm not gonna rest until I have it. It's necessary. I'm gonna do it. It's on me. No one gonna make it happen for me. I get some help and assistance, but I know that it's on me. Will it be easy? No, it's going to be hard, but it doesn't matter what it costs. If it's hard, I'll do it hard until I make it happen.
And I know that when I'm done, the result will be there and it will feel amazing.
You must trust. That's when you must believe. This is what I'm supposed to do. And when something happens to you, don't experience it as a failure, as a defeat. Look at it and find out, what is it that I didn't know? What is it that I can learn from this experience? It's done. When people have that kind of determination, when they don't allow what they don't have to become a factor, when they don't allow what the odds are to really matter, when they are constantly looking and seeking to find a way to make it happen, that's when the universe yields to you. That's when you start operating at a higher level of beingness. That's when it almost seems magical as you are able to speak the word and things begin to materialize. Sometimes when you don't know what to do and you don't know what to say and you don't know how long it's going to be, all you can do to express your fight, just keep on walking. I don't know where the money's going to come from, but keep on walking. I don't know when the problems go get fixed, but keep on walking. It was good they rejected you. It was good you didn't get the job. It was good that it didn't happen the way you imagined it. The harder the battle, the sweeter the victory. Oh, it's sweet to you. It's good to you. Why? See, when it's hard and there's a struggle, what you become in the process is more important than the dream. That's far more important. The kind of person you become, the character that you build, the courage that you develop, the faith that you're manifesting. Oh, it's something that you get up in the morning, you look yourself in the mirror, you're a different kind of person. You walk with a different kind of spirit. And people know that you know what life is, that you have embraced life. You knew it was hard, but you did it hard.
When challenges and issues come back to back to back to back, and it seems like something is after me, something is attacking me, something is attacking my journey. A setback is a setup for the greatest blessings of all times.
How you handle rejection determines whether you will be successful in life. Do you know what rejection does to self-esteem? Do you understand how personal this is? Because it's not just that the door is closed. The closing of the door says you ain't no man. You ain't no man. You ain't nothing. And this is a crisis. And it brings up every negative thing that has ever been said about you in your whole life.
When crises strike in your life, and in the Chinese language, crises mean danger, but it also means opportunity.
You get to make a choice. Is failure going to break you, or is failure going to make you? You get to decide. Failure doesn't. It's not in falling that makes us failures. It's in not getting up that makes us failures. And you get to decide if you get up or you don't get up.
Stay the course. You listening? Stay the course. Get off the pity potty. Stop running around here feeling sorry for yourself, like you're the victim. Be more responsible for your choices.
You're not a victim, you're a victor. And the only thing stands between your success, the only thing stands from you doing what you know you've been called to do. The only thing is you. Nobody can stop you. You're the only person that can stop you. So stop talking like a victim. Stop thinking like a victim. Stop acting like a victim. And walk into your destiny. Walk into your destiny, bruh. Walk into it.
You've got to learn how to become resourceful. You've got to learn how to become creative.
Things are going to get harder. Things are going to get tougher. It's the way life works. So what you need to do is you need to get harder and you need to get tougher. All you do is you fall down, get back up again, fall down, get back up again, fall down, get back up again. That's how you win. We're going to take setbacks. We're going to take some defeats from time to time in our lives. And when that happens, what that actually does, or what that actually should do, is make your vision clear. Make your mission clear.
It's a mindset. And if you change your mindset is important because we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we use to create them. You gotta change the way you think. All you need to do is change your thinking and you change your world. You don't need to change anything else.
The difference between the weak and the strong is that when the strong have no more left, they fight, they fight, they fight. The weak, they quit. They give up, they give in, they surrender, they retreat, and there's nothing weak about you.
His life is relentless. You better keep coming back from all your failures, all your doubts, all your You better keep fighting, keep it up.
You are a warrior. It is time for you to fight. Weakness will not be in my heart. No one will deny me. No one will define me. And no one will tell me who and what I am and can be. Defeat, retreat, those are not in my words. I don't understand these definitions, but I do understand this. I understand victory and I understand never surrendering. Because no matter how bad things go, my heart and my mind will carry my body when my limbs are too weak. Who am I? I am a champion. History will remember me, and no one will tell me what I can and cannot be. I will never give up, not knowing I've given everything I've got. Because who am I? I am a champion.
This is not the time to tap out. If you do not give up, if you do not give in, if you fight back, you can beat it. You can beat it. I know you can beat it. You can get through this. You can get on the other side of this. But you can't wish your way out of it. You can't want your way out of it. You can't talk your way out of it. You gotta fight your way out of it. And I know you have what it takes. I know you have that warrior inside. And now I just need you to activate it. I need you to bring it to life. This thing will not beat you. You're bigger than this thing.
I may be crying, but I'm gonna keep on walking. I may be hurting, but I'm gonna keep on walking. I don't know how long I have to walk. I don't care if it's another 7 days and another 90 miles. I've come too far to give up now. Walk when you don't know where you're going. Walk when you don't see your way clear. Walk when your heart is broken. Walk when you're under distress. Walk when you run out of money. Walk when your friends betray you. Walk when they lie on you. Walk when what you imagine doesn't happen.
If you fight and do not give up, if you fight and do not surrender, if you fight and you do not bend, if you fight and do not break, you will break that thing that's coming up against you. And victory is on the other side.
You're gonna fall down sometimes, and you're not gonna know if you have the strength to get back up. So oftentimes you walk around acting like everything is fine, when you know inside you're falling apart. Maybe you're living in fear, not knowing what's gonna happen in the future. Maybe you're worried about what people think of you, what people say about you, and that fear paralyzes you. You feel stuck. And I wanted to ask you today, can you see a way out of this mess?
Because in reality, you probably won't. When all breaks loose in your life, you probably won't know what to do or where to go. And that's okay. But I need you to hold on to faith. Faith that things will get better for you.
Because as bad as things are, as dark and nasty as it gets, there's always a way to come out on top. And when you can get through all this terrible shit, you're gonna see exactly why it had to go down like that. Those experiences are what shape you and form you into the person you need to be in order to go to higher levels. They will make you better.
But every time you hit a low place and things go wrong, all those discouraging voices in your mind come back again, don't they? You start saying to yourself, I'm a mess up, I'm a failure, I'd be better off not being here. And we just keep feeding ourselves this toxic thinking.
You have never changed your belief about yourself. And you will never completely be healed or whole until you change the voice you hear inside of your own head.
So when you're in the midst of the struggle, in the center of chaos, in the eye of the storm, you gotta remind yourself who you are and what you are capable of.
You have greatness in you. And you need to cut off those negative thoughts and voices in your mind saying, you can't make it. You don't have enough money. You don't have the education. You don't have the support. And you start redirecting your mind into positive affirmations, telling yourself, I can do this. I have what it takes. I will make it. Every time you do this, you break down those weak, insecure parts of yourself and build up your self-confidence.
And anytime you get external voices telling you something similar, saying you can't do something, you block them out and you show them what you're able to do, working as hard as possible to prove every single one of them wrong.
I need you to create a belief inside of yourself that won't be denied. A belief that says, I will find a way. And if I can't find one, I'll make one. I will not be stopped.
The only thing that separates the winners from everybody else is the mentality of a winner. When everything is against them, they learn to pull out more of themselves and muster themselves up to believe they can get through whatever is in front of them. They know that this too shall pass, that the pain is temporary, but the pride and victory of getting through it lasts forever.
You ought to look at every negative situation in your life and say, you're a liar! Every time something whispers in your ear and says, you can't make it through this, you can't take this, you're gonna have a nervous breakdown, you're gonna lose your mind, you're gonna die like your mama did, you're gonna get sick like your father did. You gotta talk back to those voices and say, hey, you are lying! I'm better than this. I'm tougher than this. I can handle this. I can go through more than this. I can be more than this. You will not defeat me. I will break you before you break me. You got to remove every voice in your life that says you can't take it, you can't learn, you can't do it, you can't have it, you can't be it, you'll never get up, you'll never get better, you'll never survive. You need to get those out of your life right now, because those are killing you and killing your potential.
You can do, be, and have whatever you want in this world, but you gotta have the right thoughts in order to get there. And that starts with removing all the toxic negativity around you and within you, and doubling down on the thoughts of possibilities and positivity, looking for solutions, not problems.
And in order to do big things in this world and make breakthroughs, you don't need $1 million, you don't need the right connections. You don't need someone to come and hand it to you. All you need is to truly believe in yourself. Believe in your abilities, believe in your ideas, and don't doubt yourself. Because when you can wholeheartedly commit and believe in something so strong, others will believe it too. And before you know it, you create a shift in this world. And you can make this thing you once saw as a dream into your reality.
This message is for those of you who are at your breaking point. You've come to a point in your life where you say, I can't take this anymore. I don't want to go through this anymore. I don't want to live another day. When life knocks you down, when you feel like you're a failure, when you feel like the fight is over and you don't see a way to get up, you have to find it deep down inside and you get up and fight again. In every season, you will go through something that'll help you for the next season. In this round of your life, you may be getting knocked down. You may be going through trials and tribulations. But I tell you, once you get up, you'll be able to fight with strength you never had. You'll be able to do things you never thought you could do. You'll be able to go places you never thought you would ever go. But you have to see it in your mind. You have to see it in your heart. You have to fight from deep down inside of you. You must speak it out. You must think it out before it actually happens. It's the only way you're gonna keep fighting when you don't feel like fighting. You have to know in your mind that as bad as it is right now, as much as I hurt right now, this is not my final outcome. This is not the end of my story. You may have lost a game, you may be losing a game, but it's not over. If you fight until the end, you can come back and get the victory. Go stronger, just another day. Your breakthrough is almost here. You need to go one more rep, just as hard as your last one, because your competitors are trying to outwork you today. Right now, stay in that gym just a few minutes longer. Go just a little harder, and you will come out on top with the victory. Keep going a little stronger. Hold on just a little while longer. I'm telling you, your breakthrough is right around the corner. Don't lose your faith. Don't give up. Don't quit. Ride through this storm, because on the other side, there's sunlight. There's hope. So you will know what it is once you make it. You've got to take a few more steps. There's a reason you had to go through the hurt, through the pain, And you'll find out soon why. Because we've all had to go through something to get to where we are.
The harder I work, the luckier I get. I'm here today. I'm an ordinary person, but I focused on my craft. I had burning desire to be excellent. I love what I do. Sharing in my books and speaking is my oxygen, is my DNA. 4 in the morning I get up and I'm working on my craft because I love it. I love it.
When you love something and you're devoted to it, discipline is easy, am I right? So bring that love and devotion to what you do. It will drive your discipline. No one has to tell Tom Brady to go work out. He has a love and devotion to getting better. And your love and devotion will drive your discipline.
That means you have to show up every day. You've got to put the effort in. You've got to be willing to do it when you're tired, when you're hurt, when it's not cool. And you've got to be willing to do that way longer than anybody else is willing to do it.
I had to start looking at my life differently. I started going to work earlier. I started being the last one to leave there. I started working harder than anybody else. The other guys could not. Why would you work so hard, Les?
I don't understand. You don't have to.
I deserve better than this.
This is something I have got to do because I've made a different kind of commitment with my life.
My life deserves my developing this what I do well and becoming the best at it and mastering myself and seeing what I have within me. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, do it with everything that you have. Develop the habit of giving more than what you're paid for.
There are no shortcuts to greatness. To be great, you gotta be all in. To be great, you gotta get 120. To be great, you gotta put forth effort every single time, every single down. To be great, there are no days off. All men are created equal. Some just work harder. Some of us just grind. Some of us don't make excuses. Some of us don't surrender. Some of us don't give up and give in. What we do with the pressure is we say, I gotta take it, I gotta take it to another level.
Elite achievers will perform and succeed and win and dominate no matter what.
We all live life. Some of us, we get more out of it. You might have to work a little harder. You might have to start at the bottom, but I'm telling you, you can have whatever you like. You just gotta work a little harder. You just gotta press a little deeper.
When other folk are having a good time, you've got to have the strength of character to concentrate, to read, to digest information.
Good intentions have kept people broke. Good intentions have stopped people from reaching their goals. Good intentions won't cut it. No more good intentions. No more only execution. No more I meant to. No more I should have. No more I wanted to. No more execution. Get out. Act like you playing basketball. Act like you playing football. Go in that doggone classroom. Compete. Many of you have lost your competitive edge. Get your competitive edge back. Compete. You don't stop when you're tired. You stop when you're done. You stop when you complete it, when you execute it.
Successful people love the experience of not feeling like doing but then going and kicking anyway. They understand that those are the real victories in life. They understand that it's easy to do when you feel like doing, but they also understand that the real glory is earned when your heart is not into something, but your mind tells you, I'm gonna do this anyway, and does it. That's where people separate themselves from the pack. That's where people earn the right to success. They earn the money. They earn the life. They earn the relationship. They earn the body in those little moments where they don't want to do what they need to do, but move forward regardless of how they feel. That's what champions know, champions understand, and champions thrive on.
Some of y'all soft. There's no better word for it. You're soft. You want to be a champion, but you don't want to work like a champion. I dare you to give 120% and stop choking.
The good part of you know you can go to school and get a 4.0. The lazy part saying we ain't getting up today. Stop calling other people haters and look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm hating on me.
You're going to have to commit at another level to discipline because fruit only comes through consistency. Without discipline, you're available for attack all the time. Without discipline, you're indoctrinated with insecurity. Without discipline, you're overwhelmed by anxiety. Without discipline, you're not prepared for the future.
There's got to be some type of discipline attached to whatever you want deliverance in.
And to get to the next level of success, you can't just have energy when you got energy. You're gonna have to learn to be disciplined.
Your mind will always choose the path of least resistance. We have to train our minds to choose the path of most resistance.
You will get tougher. Every time you push through, you build strength. Not just physical strength, mental strength, tenacity, will. You're not just born with will. You create it, you develop it through effort. And every time you put forth effort, your will, your discipline becomes stronger. And every time you quit, your will and your discipline gets weaker. Do not allow that. You cannot allow that. Every rep counts, not just in the weight room, but in life.
And so I'm looking at the clock and I'm saying, technically, you can go back to sleep, technically. But if you go back to sleep, you might not wake up to 3:30. You might not wake up to 4 o'clock. And if you wake up at 4 o'clock for 30 minutes of sleep, you might be pushing your goals back a week, a month, an entire year by sleeping for 2 hours because you missed an opportunity.
You gotta wake up every day and you gotta go get it. Execution is not something that we do, it's something that we are. And most of us aren't disciplined. Because if you don't have personal discipline, you'll never get to the next level. If another human can tell you to get up and go to work and do what you're supposed to do, you be that human.
Your mind is the most important thing you have, and you gotta control it.
You gotta move you every single day.
It doesn't matter how I'm doing. It doesn't matter how I slept last night. It doesn't matter how I feel. I don't care how it feels. I don't care if it's easy or hard. Don't care. Go through the motions. Get it done. Don't voluntarily do anything tomorrow that you should be getting done today. Get it done today. You gotta get control of your brain. Control the things you think about. You can actually control how you feel. You can control what you think. And you can definitely control what you do. You gotta be the master of your mind.
You have got to suffer to grow. And that starts by not hitting the snooze button. It starts by waking up. No, you don't want to do it, but that gives you the strength because you did it. If you do something you don't want to do every morning, you're already giving yourself the proper dialogue to attack your insecurities, to attack what the world's going to give you. You have to attack. You have to keep attacking. If you keep on attacking something, nothing wants to stand in front of anything that is relentless. The enemy has to know he is not going to give up. You must break the soul of whatever is in front of you.
All of us can go buy a car, but all of us can't get up in the morning and grind. You gotta win in the dark before you can win in the light.
I want to win the war in the morning. I clean my room, I clean my house, I go for a run, I work out. Because the second I leave my house, the second you look at your phone, the second you turn the TV on, you're in a battle. All this negativity is coming at you. But if you're able to fuel yourself in the morning, win the war in the morning, so you have the strength to face what you're going to face in the world.
Discipline is doing what you said you were gonna do when you don't feel like doing it, when you felt like doing it in the first place. You gotta discipline yourself, and you gotta learn that when you don't feel like it, you must still do it or actually go harder when you don't feel like it. Because out of 365 days, there are going to be days you don't feel like getting up. There are gonna be days you don't wanna work out. There's gonna be days that you don't wanna practice. There might be days you don't even feel like getting in the game.
You're gonna wake up most days and not be pumped up. You're gonna wake up most days and not feel like doing it. But when you can get to a point that you do it anyway, then there's no way you won't reach any of your goals.
Are you gonna get burned out? Yeah, I get burned out, but that doesn't mean I don't still do the thing I need to do. It doesn't matter how you feel. It doesn't matter what you feel like. It doesn't matter how frustrated or angry or depressed or upset you are. All that matters is that you do what needs to be done on a daily basis over and over and over again. And if you do that and it gets done, you're gonna feel a lot fucking better about your life than you do right now. How you feel about your life at the end of your time here is going to come down to your ability to cultivate discipline. It's going to come down to you developing the ability to do the things that you don't feel like doing because you know that it's the right thing to do.
Don't put forth half effort unless you're okay with half results. Unless you're okay with not making 6 figures or 7 figures, unless you're okay with losing, then keep giving the effort you're putting forth.
To be successful is never convenient. The things that you have to go through is never convenient.
And the reason why some of you can give me 120 on Monday, because everything looked good on Monday.
Like, you're excited. I'm gonna be a millionaire. I'm gonna change the world. I'm gonna do this for this person. I'm gonna buy this for my mom and my children. I'm gonna put them through school. And you got all these great dreams. And then you get up in the morning and life punch you in your face.
As long as it's a perfect day, you operate at excellence. But as soon as the circumstances change, you quit, you give up.
Because we all gonna hit that wall. We're all gonna hit opposition. We're all gonna hit adversity. But I think we all know at the core, it's never about what happens to you, it's about how you respond to it. You can control that.
In the midst of escalating levels of anxiety provoked by today's increasing complexity and accelerating change, the thing that any leader or successful person must have is resiliency. The ability to bounce back in the face of every challenge, every opposition, every failure, every setback. And the key is never, ever, ever give up. I need effort from you. I need you to match whatever effort the enemy is putting up. Whoever your enemy is, match the doggone effort. When you get out there, I need you kill or be killed when you get out there. We ain't playing no more. We ain't taking no prisoners no more. When you get out there, whatever you can get, go get it. Because they gonna get it before you get it. And they ain't gonna give it to you. So you go out there and get what's yours. Ain't nobody out there giving you your personal freedom. If you're going to get your personal freedom, they ain't giving it away. You gotta go get it. You gotta go earn it.
Test days come. They come over and over and over again. The purpose of these days is so that you can prove to yourself, not the rest of the world, that you are the kind of person that possesses the mental fortitude, the grit, the toughness, the perseverance, the discipline to get things done regardless of what the situation is. And if you become this kind of person who can get things done regardless of what's going on, regardless of what's going on in the economy, regardless of what's going on in your personal life, regardless of how you feel, regardless of the weather, how can you be stopped by anything? You cannot.
What you fighting for? What's your legacy? What you gonna do? You say you a champ, but do you practice like a champ? You say you a champ, do you fight like a champ? You say you a champ, do you have the mentality of a champ? I'm so strong mentally that when I get tired, that's when I get that dog. That's when I'm ready to go.
You gotta start thinking I'm the greediest in the world.
Not only do I climb that doggone mountain, I enjoy climbing the mountain. I get a kick out the mountain. I get a kick out the weights. I get a kick out of fatigue. I get a kick out of the grind. I get a kick out of it.
There's an adaptation process that goes into mental hardening. The body has to know and get around with it. The adaptation process comes into suffering, comes into things you don't want to do.
It's when you have nothing left. It's when you depleted all your money, when all your energy gone, when you have nothing left, that's when it's showtime.
That you're always looking for a way to get over, always looking for a way that you can break through, always looking for a way that you can win, always looking for a way that you can strike a telling blow.
When you find a way out of no way, when you find breath that you don't have, when you find energy that did not exist, that's when you find a way.
If you guys mentally believe you can do it, your body will find a way to make it happen for you.
Because sometimes you'll get hurt and you gotta be able to bounce back. You gotta be resilient. You might pass the test on the 4th try, not the 1st, not the 2nd, not the 3rd, and you gotta have the ability to get back up and act like you ain't never failed in the first place. You not average. Why you being average? You not average. Why you being good when you not good? You great. You phenomenal. When you gonna step up to the plate?
You gotta build a level of excellence about yourself that stands the test of time, and no matter what happens in front of you, you are character true. I know who you are because you're the same person in adversity, in victory, in defeat. You're the same.
Beast mode is I will not stop when others stop. I will not quit when it gets hard. I will not complain. I will not worry. I will find a way when there is no way. I will make a door when there is no door. I will create finance when there is no finance. I will find an opportunity when it doesn't exist. But I will not be defeated.
I know everybody ain't gonna do what I'm gonna do. This is how you level up. I know there's a whole bunch of people with that right there. That fires me up. That brings joy to my life right there. Because I know there's so many people that have the ability and just refuse to get off that couch. Refuse to study a few more hours. Refuse to go deeper, to go further. And that's where I gain the advantage.
No one goes the extra mile and keeps going.
I feel like this next generation that's coming up, they seem like a bunch of p***s to me.
It's so easy to be great nowadays, my friend, because most people are weak. Most people don't want to go to that extra mile. Most people don't want to find that extra because it sucks. It's miserable. It's lonely. Now I thrive in that. That's the only place to be.
There's never been more opportunity than there is right now. If you're a savage and you get out there and you grind hard and you want it bad enough, you can run all these guys over, man. I was never the strongest guy. I'm not the fastest guy. Not the smartest guy. But I will work, and I will work hard.
I'll never be in the Olympics. I'll never be a professional athlete, but still I grind. I fail at most things I do, but still I grind. I don't want to do half the shit I do, but still I grind. And that one day, you see me down a dark alley, running at 1 o'clock in the morning, know one thing, I was grinding.
I will be up when my competitor's asleep. I will be up when my enemy is curled up in bed. I will be up getting after it.
If you can't right now, there's no one looking, man.
If no one was looking, I had a chance to sneak in some extra work. To do a little bit more while no one's looking. They'll think I'm better than I am. So I recommend you do that right now. No one's looking, you're home alone, do more!
Do I like the long hours? No. Do I like having to watch a game at 3 o'clock in the morning? No. But I have to be prepared because I'm addicted to the result.
If today you never say good enough, tomorrow you'll always have enough. Championships aren't won in the theater or the arena. They're won in the thousands of hours in the training room, the labs, and the 5 a.m. runs, and the training when everyone else is sleeping. That's when it's won. The heart of a champion is a light switch that's always on. It doesn't go on and off when someone's watching. It's constant. Champions aren't found on the podium with their hand up. No, champions are found in the lab studies, the thousands of hours of hard work when no one's watching. That's what makes the will unstoppable. When you're here and no one else is, and you're pushing yourself harder than anybody with no one around. It's how you look at something. If your name's attached to it, that you do it right, the best of your ability every single time. If you're dusting your countertops, do you dust around the picture frame, or do you pick the up and dust the entire thing? Do the job right or don't do it at all. That's the same person who has his hand raised on the podium one day.
How you hold yourself in the small things of life. Build the character-winning blocks of the things that we're remembered for. And it begins now with no one looking. How you hold yourself. How you see yourself. What do you do when nobody's watching? If you do it then, I guarantee you'll be doing it when everyone's watching.
Execute, execute, execute. And that's what people don't do. They don't execute. Making a freaking plan is the easy part. And you have to understand, if you don't execute on the plan, if you don't get up in the morning when you're feeling tired, scared, if you don't execute, you're not just cheating yourself. You're cheating your family. You're cheating your employees. You're cheating your team. Whatever you're a part of, it's bigger than you, man.
Nobody wants to do it. That's the thing. When you look at someone and you say that man or that woman has something that I don't have, nobody woke up with it. They got it from showing up every day and executing. And especially when they don't feel like it. You think that this just happens. You think, I'm going to show up, I'm going to put in my time, and then I'm going to be rich. And that ain't what happens.
Everyone's always looking for other people to do stuff for them. Stop looking for help from everybody else. It starts and ends with you.
You've got to do more. You've got to become valuable. You've got to understand that what you get paid to do is the minimum. And everything on top of that is your investment in your future. So if you're going to stand out, don't do the same thing that everybody else is doing.
Separate yourself. You playing against other teams and you doing exactly what they're doing. Separate yourself. Stop doing what they doing. If you stop doing what they doing, you're going to be a champion. Stop following. No more following. No more doing what everybody else is doing. Set the doggone standards. It's time for y'all to set the standard.
If you decide that my life deserves my developing this what I do well, and becoming the best at it and mastering myself and seeing what I have within me, I grant you that your gifts will take you places that will literally amaze you. All of us need some area of our lives where we can have a feeling of competence. That people know when they think about this area, that's something you do. That you eat and sleep that. And that you do that. You do that. And people know it. If you begin to work to develop your gifts, you'll develop a strong sense of happiness. You'll get a larger vision of yourself.
The harder you work, the harder it is to surrender.
Everything you do it like this is the last time you're gonna do it.
If you're in bed right now and you're rolling around, you can't fall asleep, get the probably means you haven't done an honest day's work to earn that rest at night. I can put an honest day's work in here like more than anyone does in a week. And no one sees it. Because it's supposed to be that way. This is the means to the ends. It's not the ends. And you're not in here to get an achievement. You're in here to pay your dues so later in life you never wonder what it.
You know what you gotta do to get to paradise? You gotta fight like get to paradise. The ones that can fight, the ones that come back, those are the ones that succeed. Those are the icons of the world. There's many legends out there. There's very few icons.
Do I want to be here right now? No, I don't want to be here right now. I'm much rather be home watching the game. But later down the road, I don't want to always watching the f***ing game. One day I want to play the game. So by being here now ensures that I'm not going to be a spectator for the rest of my life. That's why I love the f***ing pain and progress.
It is the process of the grind that shapes you and forms you. It's not the game. And that's why most of y'all get beat in the game or make mistakes in the game because you think grinding is what happens when the sun comes out. You think grinding is what happens when the lights come on. You think grinding is what happens when people get in the stage. That's not grind. The real grind is in the dark when nobody sees you. When nobody knows what you're doing, when you studying without coach, when you putting in those extra reps, when you watching those videos and you getting inspired, when you change your music, it's the process that makes you sweet.
When you start doing anything, the first step, you're excited. You're pumped up. You're gonna be consumed with that thing you're doing. But a week into it, a month into it, a year into it, 5 years into it, many people begin to lose that fire. They get exhausted. They don't care anymore. They stop trying.
So they stop the daily tasks to move toward the goal, and they settle. They settle for, I guess it wasn't meant to be. They settle for, I guess I didn't want to. They settle for the easy road. They settle for mediocrity. They give up, and they let it go. But I'm saying, no, you cannot be like that. You can't allow your dreams and goals to slip by like that. You must stay focused. Don't allow anything to pull you off your game plan.
If you don't finally get your focus in check, if you keep wandering around distracted, if you keep looking at every new thing that pops up in your feed, if you keep trying every single new opportunity, if you keep saying yes to everything, if you keep listening to everybody's complaints, if you keep doing whatever they ask you to do, at some point, you will lose your life.
You must reclaim your attention and limit it down to the very few things you care about the most. Cut off anything else that doesn't support you. Embed that long-term goal in your mind. Burn it into your soul. Think about it. Write about it. Talk about it. Hang it up on your wall. But most importantly, do something about it every single day. Start working a plan to get where you want to go and minimize everything else. Getting very clear on the mission and working the plan. Everything else, guess what it gets? A no. You tune out every voice and noise outside of yourself. And you lock your focus on this one thing. And you give it everything you've got. What is it that you need to immediately stop doing in your life to take back control of your time? Is it social media? Is it watching 7 seasons of a show every week? And what do you need to start doing? What do you need to start doing every day, every week, every month, every year to be the best version of you? Because whatever you spend your time on is what determines the outcomes of your life. Disciplining yourself buys you freedom to do what you want. Sacrifice leads and gains follow. Don't bother looking for any gains when you haven't made sacrifices. You gotta give stuff up in order to go up. So the question is, what are you willing to give up? Are you willing to skip the parties, cut out the socializing, pass on doing the cool thing on the weekend with your friends? Cause that's what it's gonna take. It's gonna take you dedicating every single moment, every single ounce of energy and effort you have to pull it off. Forget about balance. You have to be obsessed with the thing you want and don't allow anything to pull you away from it. If you really want to win, pack your calendar because everything is based off of activity. The more you execute, the more results you will see. You break away from the pack by doing more than other people are willing to. It's impossible for you to lose if you pack your calendar with tasks to be done every single day of the month, morning till night. You do that year after year after year, and you will undoubtedly become one of the greatest in whatever the you want to do.
A champion focuses only on the goal. They don't allow anything else into their mind that won't help them win. And so if you want to be a winner, what you're focusing on throughout the course of the day has to change. What you're watching, what you're reading, what you're listening to, the conversations you're having. You must now be fully focused on your dreams and your goals.
And it all starts with what you're doing today. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today, when you're great, you don't just focus on a year. When you're great, you don't just focus on a month. When you're great, you don't just focus on a week. You focus on the 24 hours in front of you, and you work relentlessly to nail it.
Most people go through life never discovering what their talents are. Most people never develop their talents. They have skills and abilities, but if you don't nurture them, if you don't develop them, they will never serve you. Your gifts can take you many places if you develop your gifts. And you'll be surprised at the things that you're able to do. When you learn how to block things out, when you learn how to keep thine eyes single, learning how to concentrate, learning how to focus in, deciding that you're going to focus to develop your skills, you'll be surprised at the ideas that will come to you, of the people that you'll be able to attract, of the opportunities that you'll be able to see. You'll begin to see things that have been standing there looking you in the face saying, I can't believe this has been here all this time.
When you spend your energy focusing on what other people are doing instead of executing on your own opportunities, you are setting yourself up to fail time and time again. And this goes against what society is, right? Society is all about gossip. It's all about talk. It's all about who's doing what. And it's never about worrying about what you're doing. Go to a fucking bar. What's everybody talk about? What their company's doing, what their boss is doing, what their coworkers are doing, what their aunt's doing, what their mom's doing, what their dad's doing. Nobody fucking cares, and it doesn't fucking matter. That's why you don't see successful people hanging out with people like that. Because they worry about their own shit, they worry about their own actions, they worry about what they execute on, and they worry about how they can get better at it.
You've got to focus on you. And as you convince you, as you sell yourself every day, you will begin to see a difference in the things that you're doing. Selling yourself on your ability to perform a job, to achieve a certain objective. Telling yourself every day, here I go again, and I got what it takes. This is my day. So you've got to work on it. When other folk are having a good time, you've got to have the strength of character to concentrate, to read, to digest information. You should be grinding and you looking at the score. The score is what it is. The score ain't about to change because you looked at it. Keep playing the game. Keep grinding. Keep working. And that other stuff will take care of itself. Whatever your hands find to do, execute, execute, execute. You gotta learn to kill the noise. Who cares what they say? Dominance. Who cares what they think? Dominance. You wanna kill haters? You wanna shut them down? You wanna kill noise? Nothing succeeds like success.
No coach, no trainer, no boss can do it. You versus you.
Decide that you're going to push yourself. You have something that you brought to the universe. And that if you decide that my life deserves my developing this what I do well, and becoming the best at it, and mastering myself, and seeing what I have within me, I grant you that your gifts will take you places that will literally amaze you.
Never, ever allow anybody to make you feel bad about being so blessed when you worked your ass off to get it. You decided all the clubs, partying, hanging out, popping bottles with models, and all that that ain't for me. I'm gonna be out here running in the hot sun, practicing, playing basketball, shooting on weekends while everybody else is clubbing and hanging out. You got your focus right.
Change the way you see yourself and begin to tend to the personal details. Understand that nobody's going to take care of your business better than you. You've got to work on yourself. You've got to develop yourself. You've got to talk to yourself day in and day out. Selling yourself on you and on your potentials.
Stay focused. Don't listen to nobody. What's on your mind, just do it. Because what's destined for you, you're going to get it.
As you begin to develop and expand your skills and your talents and your vision of yourself, you will always be in control of your destiny.
There's no limitations. There's no excuses. Just sweat equity.
Isn't it crazy that you can barely control you? You can barely control your own actions. You know what you need to do. You know what you need to do. It's in your mind right now, but you don't feel like doing it.
You don't feel like getting up. You don't feel like doing the work. You don't feel like working hard. And if you don't feel like working hard, if you don't feel like getting up, then you better feel like losing. You better feel like getting weaker, because that's what's gonna happen. That thing that you have to do that you know sucks, whether it's squats or your workout or going for a run or some paperwork or a project or cleaning up, well, the longer you wait, the longer it takes. What you need to do is brainwash yourself, indoctrinate yourself, repeat your sacred chant that discipline equals freedom. Mold yourself into who you want to be.
At some point, you're gonna have to learn to be disciplined. You're gonna have to learn, if you say you're gonna wake up at 8 o'clock, you're gonna get up at 8 o'clock, no matter how you feel. And to get to the next level of success, you can't just have energy when you got energy. You gotta wake up every day and you gotta go get it. Why? Because if you don't hunt, you don't eat. If another human can tell you to get up and go to work and do what you're supposed to do, be the human. You be that human. If you need somebody to tell you need to lose 100 pounds, be your own voice to tell yourself you need to. Because if you don't have personal discipline, you'll never get to the next level. The next level is not something that's far away.
When you got tasks and you got little issues going on and you got little problems and you got time and you got all these things that are aligning against you and they're not allowing you to go forward and do what you need to do, it's real simple. Don't allow them to. Just don't allow it. Just go. And procrastination dies.
You are moved, but you're not responsible for your move. Everything is external that moves you. Now I want you to start moving yourself internally. I want you to be able to push your buttons and not let anything else push your buttons. You hear people say all the time, like, yo, I was feeling it, now I ain't feeling it. That's on you. You control your feelings. Don't nobody else control your feelings. So when you tell me I ain't feeling it no more, it don't got nothing to do with something external. It's something internal that you ain't pushing no more. It wasn't the car or house that pushed you. You pushed you. It wasn't the house or the car or the money that pushed you. You pushed you, but you told yourself it was those things. You pushed you. You moved you. So if you're not being moved, that's on you. You're doing something wrong. You're not being able to go inside and push the right buttons. You gotta move you every single day. If you get to a point in your day and you down and out, if you get to a point in your day and you exhausted, you get to a point in your day and you're not feeling it, you can stop right there and change the mood. Get your butt up and find the strength to do what you're supposed to do. Like, yo, stop compromising. Just grind. Keep playing the game. Keep grinding. Keep working. And that other stuff will take care of itself. I need you to grind every single opportunity you get, every chance you get. And I need you to grind on the little stuff. Just be consistent. Wash the dishes and wash the dishes 100%. Mop the floor and mop it 100%. Go to work and do your work. Don't just go to work when you feel like it. Go to work every single day. Work on it every day. Even when you down and out, even when you're not feeling it, still do it. You gotta feel that momentum. Sometimes it ain't about being the most talented. Sometimes it ain't about being the smartest. Sometimes it's about consistency. Consistency. Just keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it and never stop and never give up and never quit. Day after day, play after play, second after second, minute by minute. Are you hearing what I'm saying?
You have to decide that you are going to be in control, that you are going to do what you want to do. Weakness doesn't get a vote. Laziness doesn't get a vote. So next time you are feeling weak or lazy or soft, tell those feelings they don't get a vote. You are declaring martial law on your mind. Mind control.
Every human being that is not successful versus every human being that's successful, the only difference between them is mental toughness. One group, when they come up against trials and tribulation, they shrink. And mental toughness says, not only do I climb that doggone mountain, I enjoy climbing the mountain. I get a kick out the mountain. I get a kick out the weights. I get a kick out of going up against the number one team. I get a kick out of going into the 6th, 7th week. I get a kick out of fatigue. I get a kick out of the grind. I get a kick out of it.
If you can get through to doing things that you hate to do, on the other side is greatness.
Some of you going to sleep and you don't deserve rest. You lazy. You don't deserve rest. Rest is for people who work. You ain't doing nothing. Every day you chilling. You only go to sleep when you've done something.
Your ego's a liar. Your ego's digging a grave of comfort. A grave of comfort that you're gonna crawl into voluntarily where you get buried and you can't move anymore. That's what happens. That's what happens when you don't accept that whatever's going on is your fault. It is your fault. You can lie to yourself and then you don't need discipline. You can tell yourself everything's okay and then you don't need discipline. You can tell yourself, you can lie to yourself and say that you're winning. You have to be cognizant, you have to be aware of how you are being influenced. Because in this day and age, right now, if you aren't careful, you can slide down the path of least resistance, the path to weakness, the path to fragility, and the path to a lack of control as to what is happening in our lives. In your life, you gotta be the master of your mind. You gotta exercise mind control. I'm the general, I'm the soldier. I am going to obey orders without question. And people say, like, what do you tell yourself? I'm gonna tell myself anything, I'm not allowed to talk. Immediate obedience to the orders. That's what we're doing with ourselves.
You just can't do what you in love with, what you interested in. Sometimes you have to do what you don't want to do so you can live like you want to live. So if it's going to help you reach your goal, even if you don't like it, do it anyway.
What's your why? You need a why. Why do you need a why? Because some days you're going to look at that alarm clock and it's going to say 6, and 6 is the time you wake up, and you're going to look again, it's going to say 6:05, and you're going to say, I don't want to get up. But that why is going to say, push yourself, get up. Your mama needs you. Your daddy needs you. Your children need you. Get up. Your why is going to push you when you can't push yourself. When you want to quit and give up, your why is going to give you that edge you need, that advantage you need to make you believe again, to make you get up when you got up 3 times and you say, I'm not getting up no more. Your why. You don't get here by quitting when you're tired. You get here by quitting when you finish, when you're done. You don't stop when you're tired. You stop when you're done. You stop when you complete it, when you execute it. Execution is worship. And so I execute for my mom. I execute for my grandma. I execute for my sister. That's why I can't quit and give up, even though I get tired just like everybody else. I need you to eat the dream. I need you to sleep the dream. I need you to talk the dream. Because some days, you're not going to feel like getting up. Some days, you're not going to feel like keep going. And the dream is going to push you. You a beast until it's uncomfortable. You a beast when the weather is right. You a beast when coach tell you to do something that you're comfortable with. You a beast when you play in your position. You a beast when everything is going right. But sometimes stuff start happening where it's uncomfortable and you start to break. You start to bend. You start to fold. You gotta learn to become comfortable with being uncomfortable. It ain't always gonna be the way you like it. It's not always gonna be comfortable. The conditions ain't always gonna be perfect. But if you want this, if you really want this, you gotta learn to sacrifice. You gotta learn to give up to go up. To be able at any moment to sacrifice what you are for what you will become. I need you to get up and I need you to work like your professor is grading your paper. I need you to work like you got an examination. I need you to work like you're trying to get credit. I need you to work like you're trying to graduate. I need you to put in that work and put in that time. And I need you to outwork everybody. Every single day when I wake up, every minute of the day, every hour of the day, I have an opportunity. Every opportunity is the last opportunity. Every opportunity, I have to reprove myself again. Because the day you become content, the day you stop evaluating yourself, the day you stop growing, the day you stop getting better is the day you die. Is the day the person who's trying to catch you will get you. Ain't nobody stopping you but you. You're not average, stop acting like it. You're not average. Why you being average? You're not average. Why you being good when you're not good? You great. You phenomenal. When you gonna step up to the plate? And you have not given yourself enough credit to say, I just need to get up a half hour earlier and my whole life will change. I just need to get up 1 hour early. I just need to work 1 hour longer. I need to stop hitting that snooze button. If you were to make that one change, that one sacrifice, you would stop dreaming and start living it. I need you to dig deep. And I need you to make the rest of your life the best of your life. No excuses, just adjustments.
What controls our focus controls our life. And everything's trying to get our focus all the time, right? The advertiser's trying to get our focus, your phone's ringing, in your pocket it's buzzing, and that buzz is either your phone, or it's an email, or it's a text. There's this constant something trying to get control of our focus. But what you focus on determines your destiny in your life. So if you don't take control of it, somebody else will.
If I don't finally get my focus in check, if I keep wandering around distracted, if I keep looking at every new thing that pops up, if I keep trying every single new opportunity, if I keep saying yes to everything, if I keep listening to everybody's complaints, and if I keep doing whatever they ask me to do, at some point, you'll lose your life.
You can lose track of the long-term goal. It fades from your vision. It slips from your mind. But I don't accept that. I want that long-term goal to be so embedded in my mind that I never lose sight of it, ever.
You need to have a mission for what you're doing today. You should figure out what is it you desire in life and figure out the steps to get there and start working a plan to get there and minimizing everything else. Getting very clear on the mission, and working the plan. Everything else, guess what it gets? A no.
Every day, do something that moves you toward that goal, that keeps that goal alive and in sight and in focus. However small or insignificant that step might seem, take it, do it, make it happen.
Where will you be in your business and your life in 36 months? Not because you hope, because you decide. If there's something you once envisioned and now it's real, it's because you focused on it continuously, didn't you? When you focus on something continuously, something magical happens. You get insights, don't you? You overhear a conversation and you hear something you wouldn't have heard if you didn't have that outcome or goal that you wanted so badly.
What are the things that are stealing your focus? Who are the people that are stealing your focus? And begin to eliminate these distractions. Get laser focused and obsessed on what you want. Be starving and hungry to get it. Be desperate to get it. The combination of desperation and hunger with laser focus over an extended period of time is the formula to be great at something.
The question you want to ask yourself is, what do I want? The target is not the activity. The activity can change. It's what's the result I'm after. Clarity is power. The more clear you are and specifically what you want, the faster your brain can get you there. Because your brain's like a servo mechanism in a missile. It locks onto the heat signature and what does it do? It moves and follows it. That's the way your brain is if it knows the outcome, if it knows the result.
You cannot accomplish what you have not focused on. If you're not focusing on it, it can't happen. You're so focused on everything else but you, and you don't realize you are what's gonna blow you up. You are what's gonna change your situation. You are what's gonna take you to the next level.
Stop focusing on 4 things at once, and I need you to concentrate on one thing at a time.
And most of you in this room, you can't give up 6 months. You can't give up 8 months. You can't let stuff go for a few weeks. Like you can't let girls go. Some of you just can't let boys go. Some of you just can't let parties go. Let it go. If you want to be successful, if you want to dominate in the area, you got to let everything go but that thing you're pursuing. You can't chase 2 rabbits and catch both of them. So you put your attention on one and go after it. You got to stay focused. Stay focused. Stay focused on the goal. Champions are focused on the goal. They don't have time to be doing stuff that's not going to help them toward the goal. We wake up and grind. Winners win. I focus on winning. Eye on the tiger. I want you to be so focused. I want you to be so concentrated that you block out all noise, that you block out all sound. You got to get to that point like you like that eagle. You know that eagle that's 100 and some odd feet in the air, and that eagle is flying around, and all of a sudden it looks down in the Atlantic Ocean and it sees its prey, and all of a sudden, bam! All that eagle does is one time, it brings out its wings. It shows its face toward where it's going. It puts its head down, and boom, it dives down. It doesn't look to the right. It doesn't look to the left. It doesn't look up. It doesn't look further down. It looks straight at its prey, and it goes, wow, straight down into the Atlantic Ocean. Straight down, eyes focused, arms out steady, and bam, it scoops up its prey, and it keeps on going. And I'm telling you, if you're gonna blow up, if you're gonna get to the next level, you gotta stay focused. You gotta learn how to concentrate. What makes a person average is their focus. And so what you're focusing on throughout the course of the day, it has to change. What you're looking at, what you're reading, what you're watching, the conversations you have. You must now be focused on your why, and you must be focused on your dreams. You must be focused on your goals. When you are great, you don't focus on a week. When you are great, you don't focus on a month. When you are great, you don't focus on a year. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with planning, but what I'm talking about is you concentrate on the 24 hour that's in front of you and you nail it. I want you to focus on here right now.
Don't you worry about when you get home. You concentrate on this opportunity. You don't worry about tomorrow. You concentrate on this opportunity with all your might, with all your soul, with all your heart. You focus on this, and tomorrow will take care of itself. If you would just believe that your day coming, that the sacrifices you are making today, they gonna pay off. But if you do not believe, it ain't gonna happen.
This is your time. This is your moment. What are you gonna do with it? Are you gonna capture it? Or are you gonna let it slip away? Eminem said it. If you had one shot, one opportunity to seize everything you've ever wanted, would you capture it? Or would you let it slip away? And so I ask you the question, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? Do you want it as bad as you want to breathe? Or do you just kind of want it?
What's the single most important key to success above anything else? It's not talent, it's not skill, it's hunger.
The common backstory for the successful people is hunger.
Intelligence is not it. There are people less intelligence, less skill, less ability to perform at a higher level because they never lose their hunger. How do you create your life? You get hungry for something, don't you? If you get enough hunger going in you for an answer, you'll find the answer. If you get a hunger enough inside of you that says, I gotta take things to a next level, I gotta achieve, I gotta make a difference, I gotta expand, you will find the answer. People's intelligence will expand if they got enough hunger. But if you got everything and you're not hungry, you're not gonna have much.
Anybody can do anything and set their mind to. But it depends on how bad you want it.
And if you want it as bad as you want to breathe, nobody can stop you.
Personal power means the ability to take action, to follow through, to take the steps that are necessary to take an idea and translate it into reality. And it's the number one tool that most people in life never exercise, and it's the gift that every one of us has right now and at any moment in our life. You could start using your power. You could start following through. You could take this idea in your head and turn it into physical reality. Whether that idea is how you want to make your relationship, or the kind of money you want to make, or a business you want to start, it doesn't matter. It is available right now. All you do is decide and then follow through. See, Michael Jackson can move the way he does because every single day, the question he asks himself is, how can I make this better?
Where focus goes, energy flows. What are you going to focus on? Because whatever you focus on, you feel and you move towards. It's your decisions that are controlling your destiny. So the first decision you make every moment is, what are you going to focus on? You want to change your life? Make a new choice. You want to change your income? You can go to 1 million classes and making more money. Until you make a shift into what is a must for you, you won't. When you do, you'll find the way.
Concentration of power says this: if you focus on something every single day and you ask yourself, how can I improve it? And you demand from yourself that somehow it has to get better, you will master that area of focus. I don't care what it is.
And if you don't have what you want, stop telling yourself the story because you don't have the money, you don't have the time. That's bullshit. It's because you haven't committed yourself where you would burn your boats. If you want to take the island, burn boats, and you will take the island, because people, when they're going to either die or succeed, tend to succeed.
The power to hold on in spite of everything, the power to endure, the hunger, the ability to face defeat again and again without giving up. When you're hungry, you don't care about the facts. You don't care about the odds. This is a winner's quality. You have that quality within you. The people that are running at their dreams are the people that are hungry, that know if it's going to happen, it's up to them. They know they're going to have hard times. They keep on running because they're saying within themselves, I'm the one. No matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, I'm going to make it. Commitment. It means taking a stand for you. Commit means to carry into action deliberately. Commit means to make it happen no matter what. See, when you make a commitment, I'm going to become wealthy. When you make it important, when you decide I'm going to do it no matter what, life changes for you. See, most people don't keep their commitments to their commitments. That's why they lead lives of misery, lives of unhappiness. Whatever commitment that you make, keep your commitment to your commitment, no matter what. If it's hard, then do it hard. We say, oh, it's too hard, it's too hard. We don't challenge our spirit. Ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing as powerful as the human spirit. You can't destroy it. You can pervert it, but you can't destroy it. The universe responds to the man or woman that refuses to be denied. That business that you want, that book you want to write, that dream that you have of controlling your destiny, that is yours. But you've got to be willing to stand there and face disappointment, not have support, be lonely, die doubt yourself sometime. Be rejected again and again and again, and refuse to turn around until life gives it up. If you just decide, I'm going to keep my word. If I say something, I'm going to do it regardless. Being more disciplined, more focused.
Don't look for any gains where there's been no sacrifice. Don't look for your game to improve. Don't look for the record to improve. Without sacrifice, there are no gains.
Only those who are willing to risk going too far can possibly find out how far one can go. Look, you gotta want it as bad as you want to breathe.
And when you want it as bad as you want to breathe says, I'm willing to make any sacrifice. I'm willing to go through any pain. I'm willing to go through any suffering. I'm willing to go through whatever it takes. So when I get in there, then I guarantee you at the end of it, I won't be the one that surrendered. When you want something bad, you can't count the cost. Because if you count the cost and you see how much it costs, you might quit. You might give up. So you got to go in knowing that I don't count the cost. I do as many push-ups as it takes, as many reps as it takes. I study as long as it takes. I pay whatever the price is. Why? Because if I start counting the cost, I might quit. I might give up. I might surrender. Don't count the cost. You just do whatever it takes to get whatever you want.
In those times when you want to quit, you make sure you remember one thing. All those times and hours and days you sacrificed to be the best.
You will never regret making a sacrifice, ever.
Every day when you get out of bed, life's standing right there to kick you in the face, man. Life is going to throw all kinds of crazy stuff at you. And you have to be ready for it, and you got to deal with it.
Are there going to be some moments when you want to give up? Yes. Will there be some moments when it's going to seem like it's impossible? The pain that you're experiencing, the disappointment that you're experiencing, that you're going to say, it's not worth it? Yes, that's going to be right there for you. It's going to be in your face, telling you to go back. You're going to start listening to the buts, and buts will have all kind of help and support from your family members and friends saying, I told you, fool. You're going under this positive thinking stuff. Look at you now. Bet you wish you had that job now.
When you have a dream, that dream will always be tested. The pressure in your life right now has a purpose. It's not crushing you. It's pushing what's on the inside of you out. It shows you who you really are.
Don't never let anybody take your belief in yourself away from you because they hurting inside. Don't you never let nobody do that. Always believe in who you are. In the darkest moments, man. In the darkest moments, when you at that pain, when you at the bottom, know that you're gonna get back up. But you gotta believe that you're gonna get back up.
I don't care how hard you fall on your back. Because if you can fall on your back, you can look up. And if you can look up, you can get up. You can get through this. Because you're bigger than this. And when you get to the other side, you're going to be better. You're going to be bigger. You're going to be bolder. But we got to get through this.
And I'm saying that the fact that you're still here, that you're still breathing, you've got some more work, and you owe it to yourself. So when you get up in the morning, that you can look yourself in the face and say, hey, I'm living my life on my terms. That's important. Not to give up on your dream, not to give up on yourself.
Don't get it twisted. E.T. get tempted just like everybody else. But where I come from, everybody don't get this shot. I invested too much to quit. I made too many sacrifices to give up. Have you lost your mind? You know how hard I worked to get here? I put in too many hours. I sweat too much blood, too much tears. I worked hard to get here. Didn't nobody give me this. No, listen to me. That's why it's so easy for you to quit. Because you ain't paid nothing for it. I paid too much. I didn't grow up with wealth. Didn't nobody pay me. I worked for this. Sweat, blood, tears. I earn every dime I get. I work for this. And you think I'm about to get this up? You work for this. You put in time. This is not the time to lose your mind. This is the time to go all in. You want me to tell you it's okay to quit? You want me to tell you it's okay to surrender? They may not give it to you. Nobody might take you by the hand and take you there. But what I'm telling you is, I did it with my mind and my heart, and I envisioned it. I saw myself when I was still homeless, when I was still a high school dropout. I saw myself one day being where I am right now. I don't care where you are. Use what you got to get what you want. Use your mind. Use your vision. Use your dream. I dream my way out the hood. I dream my way out, and then I would get up every day and I would grind hard. So when life happens, I don't just sit there and cry. I buck back.
The darkest hour is just before dawn. So you better not give up. You better not quit. You might be 3 inches from your goal. You might be 3 yards from your goal. You might be 30 yards from your goal. And if you quit now, you give up now, you may never reach your reality. You're not a victim. Stop talking about I can't, I quit, I don't think I can make it happen, it's impossible. Stop talking like that. Stop cursing and start believing.
Champions keep going when they don't have anything left in their tank. When they don't have no more. When it's over. When they're tired. When they're frustrated. When they're ready to give up. When they spent their last dime. It's when you have nothing left. It's when you depleted all your money. When all your energy gone. When you have nothing left, that's when it's showtime.
Things are gonna get harder and things are gonna get tougher. So what you've gotta do is you have to get harder and you have to get tougher. You become stronger than the things you're up against. That's how you win.
I wish I could tell you that if you just keep going, it's gonna get easier. I wish I could tell you that, but that's not the truth. The truth is you gotta find something within. You gotta find something within, and that's gotta push you, and that's gotta elevate you, and that's gotta drive you. E.T., aren't you tired? Yes, but I can't quit. I can't stop. I can't get tired. I can't give up. I can't give in. My mama counting on me. My wife is counting on me. When you ain't got nothing left in your tank, you gotta think about the people in your life that you're doing this for. And then if you could think about them, you could go one more mile. You could go one more day at work.
You go after and you give it all you had. If you lose, at least you tried, man. I failed. It's 10 times more of a man than someone said, what if? Because what if never went to the arena.
The person who didn't try should feel rejected. The person that didn't try should feel defeated. I tried. I put my best foot forward. I don't feel bad. I gave it 120%. You can't never feel bad when you put forth 120%. You can't let the outcome make you feel whack. I'm not whack. I'm a warrior. I'm not whack. You know how much I went through to make that thing happen? You know how many obstacles I had to get through to make that work? I got through all of them. But I don't feel bad that it didn't work out. I'm a problem solver. I'm not soft. I'm not weak. I don't quit. I don't give up. I don't surrender. I don't always win, but I always try.
We're all faced with a time of challenge and controversy. Adversity causes some cats to break and other cats to break records.
There's times where you're gonna have to do it alone. There's not gonna be any team support. There's not gonna be any family support. There's not gonna be any friend support. There's gonna be times where you've got to go and do it yourself and you gotta do it alone. And those are the times that make a difference. Those are the times that count. Those are the times where you have to dig deep yourself to get the job done.
And the type of commitment that I'm speaking of is the commitment that says, I am going to stay true to what I said I would do long after the mood that I've set it in has left.
Because there's some things you just can't get without perseverance. And you're gonna have to fight and fight and fight and fight. And most of you won't be successful, not because you can't do it, but you can't outlast your old you long enough to get to your new you.
And the difference between winners and losers is how we adjust to these hard times. Winners, they understand that the path they've chosen is going to have resistance. They look at it as, well, yeah, I'm tested today, and you know what? I'm gonna pass that test. And whenever they have the hard thing that happens, and then they overcome it, they gain more confidence because they overcame something that the previous version of themselves or the rest of everybody else would have just quit when it happened to them.
Things are gonna get harder, things are gonna get tougher. That's the way life works. What you need to do is you need to get harder and you need to get tougher.
Nobody gave me this, I earned it. Life wasn't a crystal stair for me. Didn't nobody give me a network, I earned a network. Everybody say, E, how did you crack the code? I grinded my way through the code. That's how I cracked it. I got up every day at 3. Monday I grind, I ain't never give in. I just keep grinding. There's certain things when you're privileged that mama can buy you, but you can't buy grit, and you can't buy grind, and you can't buy resilience, and you can't buy heart, and you can't buy that dog. I don't care where you come from, I want you to be the best at what you do. You don't need this, or that. All you need to be successful in this world is that dog. You gotta wake up every day and compete. You gotta go after it. Everybody said you don't read well enough. You're not a critical thinker. I'm not, but I'm a beast. You ain't gotta be smart when you a beast. You ain't gotta be the most talented when you a beast. You ain't gotta be the most talented when you got that dog. You gonna have to play hurt. You gonna have to play when stuff is going on. It's a work that separates the boys from the men. Are you ready to do the work?
Are you ready to put in the work? Stop whining, stop crying, stop asking. I want your work to go before you. Everybody want to be a beast till it's time to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Everybody want to be number one till it's time to do what number one do. I'm about that life. I get up every morning at 3 o'clock. When I want to get up, when I don't. When I feel like it and I don't feel like. Why? Because I'm process driven. I'm not feelings driven. Champions are not feeling driven. Champions don't get up when they want to. There is a championship coordinate and you can't change that. You gotta be intentional and deliberate. You gotta decide that you're gonna do something and you gotta do it every Monday, every Tuesday, every Wednesday, every Thursday. Consistency is having a goal, and when you wake up that day and you don't feel like it, you still do what you told yourself you was gonna do. It is the days you don't feel like doing it, but you look at your wife, you look at your kid, and you realize, I gotta get up and make it happen, even though I don't wanna get up and make it happen. Set the standard, then raise the standard, then uphold the standard every single day. If you're not willing to do it every single day, you're not going to beat the man that's doing it every single day. Some of you like, that's too much. Well, you're not going to be a champion. You're going up against other champions? You think you're going to get 50%? You think you're going to get 70%? And you won't with these people who've given sweat, who's given blood, who's given tears. You want what they paid for, and it ain't free. I'm not the best. They better than me, but they have not outworked me. You might be taller than me. You might be bigger than me. You might be stronger than me, but I'm coming, and I'd rather die trying. I'd rather give everything I got. I'd rather give a year. I'd rather put in work and fail to not try it all. The real beast is the last 4 minutes. The real beast is when their legs give out. The real beast when they tired. The real beast find a way to pull something out when nobody else ain't got nothing.
Life will hit you with all sorts. It will bring you to your knees. You will fail. You will likely fail often. It will be painful. It will be discouraging. It will wear you down, break your spirit, force you to quit. At times, it will test you to your very core.
The storms will come. There are times when the nights will be long and dark and you will be alone.
We're in a place that it feels like nobody else is in this place. I'm here all alone, and I did not see it going like this.
There will be times when the darkness seems to consume everything, but don't let it consume you.
You must be your very best in the darkest moments. You need to be calm. You must be composed. Your physical power and your inner strength must be brought to bear.
Right now, you're being tried. You're being forged. You're being tested by fire and by pain. That's the test. Don't fail the test. Don't give in. Don't quit. Don't ever quit.
The deep is not for a devastation, it's for preparation. The darkest and deepest places of my life have prepared me for the greatest victories of my life. When your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow.
It is literally at the darkest moment when it dawns. You don't really even get to the next level to your darkest moments.
No matter what you've ever been through, you had to go through it to get right here.
So that's why I'm saying stop tripping when it get dark and you running. You running from your success.
And I'm telling you, when you come up against that thing, you gotta outdo that thing. And you can't do it when you get there. You gotta already make up your mind before you get to cancer. You gotta already make up your mind before you get to that exam and pass that exam. You gotta make up in your mind when you're talking to your husband, when you're talking to your wife, when you're talking to that sickness. You gotta look at it before you even get to it.
Speak to your soul, say don't give up. Speak to your mind, say don't give up. And I don't know who you are and what's been pressing you, but I'm begging you, don't give up. Don't give up because it's hard. Don't give up because you can't see the future. Don't give up because it hurts. Don't give up no matter how bad it is. Don't give up in that place no matter how bad it hurts. Don't give up even if others gave up. There's something on the other side of this for you.
Come on, you need to remember, this is not your first rodeo, cowboy. This is not the first time you cried. This is not the first time you were short of breath. This is not the first time you didn't see a way clear. This is not the first time you were hurt. This is not the first time your heart was broken. This is not the first time you didn't have enough money. This is not the first diagnosis that came up from behind. And we will get through this. We will get through this.
I don't care how hard it is. I don't care how difficult it is. I want you to practice. Never give up and never give in. Why? Because some skill not gonna get you through certain things, but phenomenal will allow you to get through everything. Buster Douglas got past Mike Tyson. Wow. Mental toughness. Muhammad Ali got past George Foreman in his old age. Mental toughness. So don't you ever give up. As long as you got breath in your nostril, don't you ever give up. Don't you ever give in, because I never told you it would be easy. But with mental toughness, you can get it done.
It's a portion of heart, a portion of will, and an unyielding dedication to see that through. I can tell you how it's hard to get off the couch and take that one step towards greatness. I can tell you how hard that is. I can also tell you how hard it is, 10 times harder, looking back on your life as time expires knowing you could have been great. I can tell you how the worst failure in life isn't the person that fell down, it's the person that never got up to try. There's a million examples on how failure is made. Success is written every single day. Planning it out, having everything in line to ensure success. Thinking before acting. It's always the last inch that matters the most. Both of them are just as valuable as this one, where our will is shutting down, our desire is shutting down, failure is setting in, the pain's increasing. Right now, when it's hurting, do we go on or not? Do we welcome it, or do we run from it?
Every storm has an expiration date. No matter what storm you're in right now, that at some point, the winds, the waves, and the rain have to subside.
No matter what is happening, no matter how hard the fight is, as long as you keep fighting, you win. Only surrender is defeat. Only quitting is the end. Because the darkness only wins if you let it. Do not let the darkness win. Fight. Fight through the storm. Fight through the pain, and you can get out of the storm, and you will get out of the storm. And when you get out, you're gonna see the sun again.
It will not be easy. Know that life is not fair and that you will fail often. But if you take some risks, step up when the times are the toughest, face down the bullies, lift up the downtrodden, and never ever give up, you will succeed.
For most people, the easiest thing in the world to do is to give up and to quit. The easiest thing in the world to do is to complain. Don't take no effort. The easiest thing in the world to do is to be negative. It takes work to have a perspective that see things on the right side of the coin. You gotta fight for that. It takes work to show up every single day, and when things are not playing in our favor, to say, you know what, man, it might not playing in my favor right now, but I'm gonna still show up, and I'm gonna give everything I got to it because I value what I'm a part of. It takes work to have the right perspective. And I'm a firm believer that perspective drives performance every day of the week.
That ain't got nothing to do with talent. That's just got everything to do with effort. Nothing else. And the only thing that's kept me around is my effort. Because I wasn't a number one recruit. I wasn't a number one linebacker. I wasn't even a media guy. All I ever knew was effort will get me seen on tape. Effort will get me noticed to get to the league. Effort would one day take care of my mom and my kids. Effort, which is between you and you. Nobody else can give you effort. Effort is with inside, man.
You're not going to be the best. You're not going to catch the best if you're not intentional and deliberate. And there are those of you in your space, and whatever you're trying to do, you don't even represent the best in your space, and you still not giving 120.
It doesn't matter if you're interested. It doesn't matter if you're somewhat committed. It only matters if you're fully committed. Where are you in that spectrum? Where would you place yourself? Am I interested in this, committed to this, or am I fully committed to this?
You can feel when somebody's not committed, when they're not all in, when they're not dedicated. And there's another level you get to when you go all in, when you do videos every single Monday and ain't nobody paying you. When you come to an engagement and you speak as if you're making the most you've ever made when you're not. When you get up at 6, when you don't have to.
Effort is isolated. The reason why effort is isolated, because nobody can dictate it. Effort is 100% in the mind. No coach, no player, nobody else can make you run to the ball. Nobody else can make you finish the tackle. Nobody else can do it. When you finally figure it out, how to win real battles, it's found through fundamentals. That's what wins championships. That's what wins battles. Blocking, tackling, until they get tired. Because you don't know what tired feels like.
Tired don't mean nothing. Tired is only in the mind. You tell yourself you're tired, you're gonna be tired. I don't get tired.
Nobody ain't got to convince me of what I do. I do what I do because I do what I do. Because I'm built from something.
Because I'm pissed off for greatness. Because if you ain't pissed off for greatness, that means you're okay with being mediocre.
Starting with a little dream, like building your business and saying, I'm going to get out there and I'm going to talk to people and I'm going to work on myself and I'm going to be extraordinary. Because the days slip into weeks, the weeks slip into months, the months slip into years. Before you know it, 1 year's gone by. 5 years have gone by. Well, 1 year's going to go by anyway. Why not get there world class in this business, world class in your life?
Champions are focused on the goal. They don't have time to be doing stuff that's not going to help them toward the goal. So all the little social media, cut it off. Cut it off. Get off of it. Stop Netflix. Who you watching? Watch you. Cut the TV off. It's going to be there. You got a job to do. That's what you're getting paid for. Have some pride.
Cut off the TV, son. Cut that doggone football game up. It ain't doing nothing for you. They making millions, you not. More stuff comes to you when you execute, son.
Do what you're supposed to do. You ain't no boy no more.
The only thing you do for success, there's no discounts. It's sweat, it's blood, it's tears. There is no discount. You can't get 50% off. It's sweat, it's blood, it's tears. There are no shortcuts to success. Stop thinking there are. And stop wanting people to put you somewhere that you didn't earn.
You can't be in love with the idea of success. You can't be in love with the results and not be in love with the work. You have to love the process. You have to love the daily grind. You have to love the lessons learned. You have to love the little victories. You have to love the experiences that the journey provides you. You have to love the relationships. You have to love the whole thing to produce the result that you are in love with. You got to do a lot that nobody ever sees or thanks you for or rewards you for a long time. And it's not just a 9-to-5 Monday through Friday effort. It's a lifestyle. It's a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week commitment.
When I tell you to put forth effort, I'm talking about life and death. The effort that you put forth is going to bring life to your finances, to your health. When you put forth effort, your money is going to look different when you put forth effort. You look different. And when you don't put forth that effort, it's death.
I grant you that if you begin to work to develop your gifts, you'll develop a strong sense of happiness. You'll get a larger vision of yourself.
I want you to feel your center right now, your strength. I want you to just inside yourself, promise yourself you're never going to settle. Never settle for less than you can be, do, give, or create. Hold a new standard that you're going to constantly strengthen your state, your focus, your physiology. All you got to decide is surround yourself with the right people. All you got to decide is what you're committed to, what's a must for you. Shift the belief, find what works. When it gets tough, get stronger, and give more. And if you do that each day with enough energy, I'm telling you, the stuff you once dreamed about will be a reality.
You can write everything down if you want to. Be brave enough to write every one of your goals down. But I'm going to tell you something. Life's going to hit you in your mouth, and you got to do me a huge favor. Your why has to be greater than that knockdown.
Are you willing to get your teeth kicked out for your dream? That's why many are called, but few are chosen. Because everybody won't get the beat down. Everybody's not willing to face rejection. Everybody will not talk to 4 people and visualize 5,000. Everybody won't take the controversy. Everybody won't take the heat. Everybody won't hold themselves to a higher standard.
As soon as you write your dream down, somebody about to bust you in your mouth. Whatever it is that thing you say you want to do, they coming at you. The reason why you do what you do is more critical than what you do. Because if your reasoning is weak, you're not going to get it done. Why? Because life is going to beat you upside your head. Life will strip you to the core. Once your ball start tripping, you about to start crying. Once life hits you with a punch or two, you ready to quit. Phenomenally skilled is cute, but it is a phenomenal will that says every time I get knocked down, I will get back up and I will succeed. I will not surrender.
But if you weak, you will be broke. And I'm not here because I'm the best. I'm here because they tried to break me and they couldn't.
Think about your community. Think about your kids. Think about the obstacles and the problems, the so-called problems in your community. Think about them. Osborne said, in life, you will always be faced with a series of God-ordained opportunities brilliantly disguised as problems and challenges. We can't judge according to appearances. We must look at the poverty and the despair and the pain and the stress, and in the midst of that, we see prosperity. We see peace. We see possibility.
I'm telling you to dream your dream because I want you to feel it. I want you to taste it. I want you, just like when the weather is changing, you can feel it. I want you to be able to feel when you're getting closer to it and closer to it. If you are still alive, there's still room for growth. There's still room for improvement. You can still get bigger. You can still get better. You can still be bolder. There's still room to grow and be better.
Get out of your head and into your greatness. You can't stroll to your goals. You keep being casual, you will end up a casualty. Death is not the greatest tragedy of our time. The greatest tragedy is what dies inside of us while we're still alive. Not trusting your gift is sinful because by God it was put in you. I don't know what you've been through, but trust your heart, it will defend you.
You need to use your tongue to validate your gift and look yourself in the mirror and encourage yourself as to how I'm still gifted. I've been through some pain, but I'm still gifted. I've buried some loved ones, but I'm still gifted. I've had some setbacks, but I'm still gifted.
Despite the circumstance, you can win. Despite the giants, you can win. Despite the adversity, you can win. Despite the obstacles, you can win. Despite the situation, you can win. Despite how much money you got in your bank, you can win. You can pull it off.
Why do you do what you do? Why is that important, Les? Because when the storms of life come, and they're going to come, when life pounces on you, and that's going to happen, when it catches you on the blind side and drop you to your knees, and that's going to happen, when people don't come through for you and don't keep their words and don't support you or actively work against you, and that's going to happen, when you want to give up, and that's going to happen, your reasons will be your bridge over troubled waters. You got to know why you're out here, because you're going to get your butt kicked. But you gotta know why you're there, because your reasons, when life drops you to your knees, your reasons will help you get back up. What are the reasons? Write down why you're here. Write down 5 compelling reasons of why you're gonna keep your commitment to change your life. Keep your commitment never to go back to the life that you once lived. Keep your commitment to creating wealth for yourself, to taking care of your children, to be more responsible. Keep your commitment to live a life of contribution, to keep your commitment to be a conqueror, and to act like it, and to have authority and dominion of everything in your life. What are those reasons if life knocked you down, try and land on your back? Because if you can look up, you can get up. Your reasons will help you to get back up again.
What's that thing that's gonna pump you up and get you over that hill? What's gonna pump you up and get you over that mountain? What's gonna pump you up and get you past that disease? What's gonna pump you up and get you past bankruptcy? What's gonna pump you up and get you past that crazy credit score you got? What's gonna pump you up and get you to the other doggone side?
I'm talking about hope. You gotta be able to see it when it cannot be seen. You gotta see it in your mind's eye. You have to see it happening. You have to see yourself writing the book before the book is finished. You gotta see it. You have to see yourself graduating even though the teachers are telling you that it's not going to happen. Even though you got the letter saying you're getting kicked out of school, that you're on academic probation, that you're dismissed. Hope, you have to believe in the unseen. Because if you can't believe in it, you will never manifest it. But when you believe in it, you demand the universe to assist you in what you're doing. And if you can see it before everybody else can see it, then it's going to eventually come to you.
To every person in this room who's had a struggle, who's had some pains, who's had some tests, who's got some creative ideas, but you've gone through some really tough stuff.
Whatever you do, don't lose your head. Pull your feelings out of it. Your emotions, your negative thoughts, your insecurities, your vulnerabilities.
Do not allow these things to control the trajectory of your life.
If you are going to birth your dream, your calling, your passion, you can't draw back when life gets tough. You've got to stand up to it and push.
Push through it. Tragedy and trials come to everybody. Only the strong survive.
The stuff you've been through, don't pay it any attention.
If you start something, you're gonna finish it. Make a way. Figure it out, adjust, pivot, have a certain level of mental agility, and get it done. Keep going. Press on. This too shall pass. There's nothing that we come up against that's stronger than anything that we possess internally.
The world is not giving you what you deserve because you don't think you deserve it. And you need to change your mindset. Why are you timid? Why are you passive? Why are you afraid?
There are those of you in this room, you don't need another book. You don't need another course. There are those of you in this room, you don't need to do anything else. You are enough as you are. You just don't believe in yourself in the way you're supposed to believe in yourself, and it comes out when you're talking to other people. They sense that you don't believe it. They feel it. You can feel when somebody's not committed, when they're not all in, when they're not dedicated. And there's another level you get to when you go all in. When you come to an engagement and you speak as if you're making the most you've ever made when you're not. When you get up at 6 when you don't have to. And if you change your mindset is important because we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we use to create them. You better change the way you think. All you need to do is change your thinking and you change your world. You don't need to change anything else. Don't complain. Don't murmur. Don't talk negative. Average people talk normal. Average people talk problem. The greats talk solutions. Average people use their time to whine and complain. But I used to be average. And while I would talk like that, I ended up getting kicked out of school. And while I talked like that, I was broke. And then one day I woke up and said, Eric, nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to get you, but you can go to the library and get yourself. You can start reading books. You can go back to school. You can start coming to conferences.
There's something that you could do that would radically change your life. Somebody could take the hand you've been dealt and win with it. Same circumstances, same ideas. They would do it through what they thought about your life. But we don't need somebody because we got you. You are the one.
I haven't had my best idea yet. I haven't had my most creative moment yet. I haven't produced my dream yet. I don't care whether you're 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. There's something down inside of you that's still kicking inside of you that wants to get out and it wants to live.
I want you to leave this room and embrace challenges. Stop quitting and giving up.
If it's hard, keep on coming back again. If folk oppose you, come on back again. Run out of money? Come back again. Keep working on yourself. Keep talking to yourself. Many start, but few finish. Few people finish because they say, well, it was hard, and they stop. They take that as a stop sign as opposed to a growth sign. They look at that as something to block them as opposed to an opportunity for them to grow, to become more creative.
All roads to success, you gotta go through pain. When you travel down success, you gotta go through the road of pain, baby. If you think it's gonna be easy, if you think you just gonna get that business started without any trials or forget about it. Don't even try to be successful. It's a wrap. It's not going to be easy, but I want you to feel that pain going through your body. And as pain leaves your body, guess what's going to take its place? Success. And so you got to change your mindset. We got to stop looking at pain as if it's something negative. No pain, no gain. Confidence makes you run toward the fight. When you don't have confidence, it makes you run away. So it doesn't matter how you look. It doesn't matter the degrees you have. It doesn't matter how much money. It doesn't matter. Without confidence, there are certain things in this earthly realm you can't pull off. When you have fear, fear makes you speak in a certain way. When you have fear, but when you have faith, you don't need to count. When you have faith, you don't need to go outside. When you have faith, you don't need to see how many horses. When you have faith, you don't need to see how many armies. When you have faith, you don't need to see how many swords. When you have faith, you don't need to count no shields. When you have faith, you don't need to look at the parameter and see how many locations. When you have faith, you just believe and it'll happen.
As you're going through your go-through, you ready to quit, you ready to give up, you ready to give in because it don't look like you think it should look. And I'm telling you right now, because I care about you. I'm telling you right now, because I've been there. I've done that. You've been in it for 3 years and you about to quit. Oh, you've been doing it for 5 years and it don't look like you think. You put all your money in it. You put all your time in it. People are looking at you crazy. 5 years you've invested. Oh, You put too much in it to quit now? It doesn't look like you think. You didn't get the grades you thought you were gonna get. So maybe I'm not meant to be a lawyer. Most people retreat during the pain, are broken by the pain. But gladiators approach the pain, embrace the pain, and dominate the pain. The question is, are you a gladiator? I guarantee you, if you can outlast pain, if you can get through that pain, if you can outlast that discomfort, I guarantee you, baby, on the other side of it is success.
A lot of us have big dreams, big goals. And when you have goals that are maybe outside your reach, you have to know that getting to that goal, you're gonna have a lot of bad days, a lot of setbacks. Failure is going to happen. So how fast do you get up from that? But the biggest key to success in anything you do is you gotta have an unlimited supply of fire, this drive and passion that I'm going to be somebody. It has to be there, because on all those bad days and all those days you don't want to do stuff, you have to be your own motivator, your own coach, your own trainer, your own everything. You have to come into work ready to go. You may have failed miserably yesterday. Be like, man, you just lost everything. How the hell are you just staying motivated? Because this is what it takes. This is what it takes.
When you decide acting in your best interest, you're going to lose some friends. Everybody's not going to approve of you. There's some people that won't like you. Who do you think you are? You are arrogant. What do you think you can do? You think you can get away with that? You're selfish.
Get away from these people that's in your life that ain't doing nothing. Get away from people in your life that's hating. Get away from them. Get away from them.
You ever heard said, one spoiled apple will spoil a whole barrel? One negative person can spoil your whole life. Leave the flakes alone. People that are seriously not serious.
Don't ever let somebody tell you you can't do something. If you have a dream, you have to protect it. When people can't do something themselves, they want to tell you you can't do it. Don't let these negative people turn you away from what you want. Just stay focused on where you want to go.
If you can just keep hope alive, you can make it. Because if you keep hoping, it is really faith. You just gotta transpose it into I hope this happened to I believe this can happen.
See, a lot of people have an idea or a dream and they give up on it. No, don't do that. Work your dream until it gets hot. Most things don't happen as soon as we think they should happen. Any number of things can happen to interrupt your flow. It's okay. Don't take it personal. Just acknowledge what's going on. It's called life, and keep on working on your dream, because this is your life. This is what you love. This is your passion. And feel within yourself that everything is going to work out for you. But you must be patient, persistent, and positive, no matter what.
When you grinding hurts. Grinding is a sacrifice. Grinding costs. When you're grinding and your body tell you hurt, you stop. When you hurt, you stop. When you feel pain, you stop. When you tired, you stop. When you disappointed, you stop. When somebody get in your ear, you stop. Some of you a beast until it's uncomfortable. You a beast when everything is going right, but sometimes stuff start happening where it's uncomfortable. You start to break, you start to bend, you start to fold. It ain't always gonna be the way you like it. The conditions ain't always gonna be perfect. But if you want this, if you really want this, you gotta learn to sacrifice. You gotta learn to give up to go up. Because skill can't get you past certain things. Agility can't get you. You gotta have mental toughness.
Now, whatever goal you have, you're gonna have some difficulties. You're gonna have some challenges. Long journey, long dark night. But when you hold on to your dream, don't let anybody kill it in you. When it doesn't make sense to anybody, including you sometimes, just hold on. Once you give yourself an opportunity to try and to stretch, you'll find out you can do more than you can ever begin to imagine.
And if you quit, if you falter, if you stop, all the pain will be for nothing.
You don't quit on me. You man up. You woman up. You get your life back. I need mental toughness. Be persistent. I mean, get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, even when you don't see results. You made a commitment to get up at 3, so you get up at 3. You do as many reps as you said you were going to do. You got to get to a point where you are locked into the process. So every day you do it on Monday. You come back and do it Tuesday. You come back and do it Wednesday. You come back and do it Thursday. You come back and do it Friday. You are persistent. You fall, you get right back up. Don't stop for a week. Don't stop for a month. Don't stop for a year. You fail a class, you go right back and take it again. Don't stop. Don't quit. Don't give up. Why? Muscle memory. You do it over and over and over. Every time you're getting better and better and better. And repetition deepens the impression in your mind. Those motor skills, you start implanting that thing. You do it over and over and over and over and over again. You start implanting stuff, and then boom, memory kicks in. When you come up against that thing, you gotta outdo that thing, and you can't do it when you get there. You gotta already make up your mind before you get to that exam and pass that exam. You gotta make up in your mind when you talking to that singer. You gotta look at it before you even get to it. So don't you ever give up. As long as you got breath in your nostrils, don't you ever give up. Don't you ever give in, because I never told you it'd be easy. But with mental toughness, you can get it done.
Are you gonna say you wanna do something, do it for 2 weeks and then quit? Like you did last year, like you did the year before last? You say you want to lose weight, get in shape, get your business off the ground, and then turn around and party, drink alcohol, eat like crap, and continue to live below who you were created to be. How long's it gonna take to make the decision, to make the shift, and show some courage? It is time to go from mediocre to meteoric. It is time to go from being counted out to being counted on.
I've never met anybody who became incredibly successful in any area of their life until they had suffered and sweated and sacrificed and kept their focus and fought through tears and trials and tests. And if you have a dream and you fully commit to it sooner or later, if you do not surrender, if you do not quit, it will happen.
When I wake up in the morning, I don't think, am I motivated to go do what I'm supposed to do? No, I don't think about it for 1 millisecond. When the alarm clock goes off, I have no thought about whether this is easy, whether this is hard, whether I want to do it, whether I don't want to do it. None of that matters. It's an emotionless, thoughtless discipline. When the alarm clock goes off, you get up, you get out of bed, and you go do what you're supposed to do. I don't care how it feels. I don't care if it's easy or hard. It doesn't even matter to me. It's just a reaction. It's a discipline, and it's life. And that's the way I choose to live my life.
Too tired, too hungry, too sore, too hot, too cold, too whatever. People ask me what I do when I get those little feelings running around. Well, let me tell you what I don't do. I don't tell everybody. As a matter of fact, I don't even let those words run around inside my own brain housing group. I keep it secure, lock it down.
To me, this is an everyday gig. Every day is a Monday, an opportunity to come out of the gate like a man possessed and attack the day without mercy. Today, I'm taking scalps. I'm putting the pressure on. I'm the aggressor. I'm on the attack.
It's a lifestyle. Instead of hitting that snooze button in the morning and not making your bed, you don't hit the snooze button. You get up. You don't want to go run? You go run. You don't want to go swim? You go swim. You don't want to make your bed? You make your bed. You don't want to clean your house? You clean your house. You don't want to study? You go and study. It's going to suck. It's not going to be fun. Do something that sucks every single day of your life. That's how you grow.
The only thing you do for success is sweat, it's blood, it's tears. You think you're gonna get 50%? You think you're gonna get 70%? You think you're gonna get 80? There is no discount. You can't get 50% off. There are no shortcuts to success. Stop thinking they are. And stop wanting people to put you somewhere that you didn't earn. The real beast is when their legs give out. The real beast when they tired. The real beast find a way to pull something out when nobody else ain't got nothing. when you really want it, you no longer hit the snooze button. You no longer lose focus when you're studying. You no longer take shortcuts. You are willing to do whatever it takes. And that means getting up early, going to bed late. That means you don't go to sleep when you're tired. You go when you're done. You might have put in some time, but you didn't put in the time. Yep, you did some workout. Yep, you studied a little bit. Yeah, you put in some time, but you ain't put in the time. The time that's required to make your dream become a reality. You can't shortcut success. You gotta grind, and you gotta put in the time.
If you had the qualities of fortitude, grit, discipline, mental toughness, you wouldn't need a program for your finances. You wouldn't need another fitness program. You would understand how to execute. The missing link is and always has been you.
In order to be the best, in order to get to the next level, you gotta sacrifice. You gotta be willing to do whatever you're asked to do. There are no shortcuts to success. There are no discounts to success. It's always sweat. It's always blood. It's always tears. You always have to give all to be the best.
I'm not gonna sit around and wait for good things to happen to me. I'm gonna grind. I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna do everything in my power to become the very best version of me.
When you do the things most people aren't willing to do, you will live the life most people never will.
If you're willing to take the harder way, the more complicated one, the one with more failures at first than successes, the one that has ultimately proven to have more meaning, more victory, more glory, then you will not regret it.
If you stay in bed, if you stay on the couch, if you stay in your comfort zone, if you only do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, if you get up, if you grind, if you are relentless, if you work as hard as possible, when other people are slacking off, your life will be easy.
1 + 1 is always going to equal 2. 2 + 2 is going to equal 4. And 10 years of work when everybody else is partying, making excuses, doing the cool thing on the weekend is going to pay off.
Some of y'all soft. There's no better word for it. You're soft. You want to be a champion, but you don't want to work like a champion. I dare you to give 120% and stop choking.
The good part of you know you can go to school and get a 4.0. The lazy part saying we ain't getting up today. Stop calling other people haters and look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm hating on me.
You're going to have to commit at another level to discipline because fruit only comes through consistency. Without discipline, you're available for attack all the time. Without discipline, you're indoctrinated with insecurity. Without discipline, you're overwhelmed by anxiety. Without discipline, you're not prepared for the future. There's got to be some type of discipline attached to whatever you want deliverance in.
And to get to the next level of success, you can't just have energy when you got energy. You're gonna have to learn to be disciplined.
Your mind will always choose the path of least resistance. We have to train our minds to choose the path of most resistance.
You will get tougher every time you push through. You build strength, not just physical strength, mental strength, tenacity, will. You're not just born with will. You create it, you develop it through effort. And every time you put forth effort, your will, your discipline becomes stronger. And every time you quit, your will and your discipline gets weaker. Do not allow that. You cannot allow that. Every rep counts, not just in the weight room, but in life.
And so I'm looking at the clock and I'm saying, technically, you can go back to sleep, technically. But if you go back to sleep, you might not wake up to 3:30. You might not wake up to 4 o'clock. And if you wake up at 4 o'clock for 30 minutes of sleep, you might be pushing your goals back a week, a month, an entire year by sleeping for 2 hours because you missed an opportunity. You gotta wake up every day and you gotta go get it. Execution is not something that we do, it's something that we are. And most of us aren't disciplined. Because if you don't have personal discipline, you'll never get to the next level. If another human can tell you to get up and go to work and do what you're supposed to do, you be that human. Your mind is the most important thing you have, and you gotta control it. You gotta move you. every single day.
It doesn't matter how I'm doing. It doesn't matter how I slept last night. It doesn't matter how I feel.
I don't care how it feels. I don't care if it's easy or hard. Don't care. Go through the motions. Get it done. Don't voluntarily do anything tomorrow that you should be getting done today. Get it done today. You gotta get control of your brain. Control the things you think about. You can actually control how you feel. You can control what you think. And you can definitely control what you do. You gotta be the master of your mind.
You have got to suffer to grow. And that starts by not hitting the snooze button. It starts by waking up. No, you don't want to do it, but that gives you the strength because you did it. If you do something you don't want to do every morning, you're already giving yourself the proper dialogue to attack your insecurities, to attack what the world's going to give you. You have to attack. You have to keep attacking. If you keep on attacking something, nothing wants to stand in front of anything that is relentless. The enemy has to know he is not going to give up. You must break the soul of whatever is in front of you.
All of us can go buy a car, but all of us can't get up in the morning and grind. You gotta win in the dark before you can win in the light.
I want to win the war in the morning. I clean my room, I clean my house, I go for a run, I work out. Because the second I leave my house, the second you look at your phone, the second you turn the TV on, you're in a battle. All this negativity is coming at you. But if you're able to fuel yourself in the morning, win the war in the morning, so you have the strength to face what you're going to face in the world.
Discipline is doing what you said you were going to do when you don't feel like doing it, when you felt like doing it in the first place. You got to discipline yourself, and you got to learn that when you don't feel like it, you must still do it or actually go harder when you don't feel like it. Because out of 365 days, there are going to be days you don't feel like getting up. There are going to be days you don't want to work out. There's going to be days that you don't want to practice. There might be days you don't even feel like getting in the game. You're going to wake up most days and not be pumped up. You're going to wake up most days and not feel like doing it. But when you can get to a point that you do it anyway, then there's no way you won't reach any of your goals.
Are you gonna get burned out? Yeah, I get burned out, but that doesn't mean I don't still do the thing I need to do. It doesn't matter how you feel. It doesn't matter what you feel like. It doesn't matter how frustrated or angry or depressed or upset you are. All that matters is that you do what needs to be done on a daily basis over and over and over again. And if you do that and it gets done, you're gonna feel a lot fucking better about your life than you do right now. How you feel about your life at the end of your time here is going to come down to your ability to cultivate discipline. It's going to come down to you developing the ability to do the things that you don't feel like doing because you know that it's the right thing to do.
Don't put forth half effort unless you're okay with half results. Unless you're okay with not making 6 figures or 7 figures, unless you're okay with losing, then keep giving the effort you're putting forth. To be successful is never convenient. The things that you have to go through is never convenient.
And the reason why some of you can give me 120 on Monday, because everything look good on Monday. Like, you're excited. I'm gonna be a millionaire. I'm gonna change the world. I'm gonna do this for this person. I'm gonna buy this for my mom and my children. I'm gonna put them through school. And you got all these great dreams. And then you get up in the morning and life punch you in your face.
As long as it's a perfect day, you operate in excellence. But as soon as the circumstances change, you quit, you give up.
Because we all gonna hit that wall. We're all gonna hit opposition. We're all gonna hit adversity. But I think we all know at the core, it's never about what happens to you, it's about how you respond to it. You can control that. In the midst of escalating levels of anxiety provoked by today's increasing complexity and accelerating change, the thing that any leader or successful person must have is resiliency. The ability to bounce back in the face of every challenge, every opposition, every failure, every setback. And the key is never, ever, ever give up. I need effort from you. I need you to match whatever effort the enemy is putting up. Whoever your enemy is, match the doggone effort. When you get out there, I need you kill or be killed when you get out there. We ain't playing no more. We ain't taking no prisoners no more. When you get out there, whatever you can get, go get it. Because they gonna get it before you get it. And they ain't gonna give it to you. So you go out there and get what's yours. Ain't nobody out there giving you your personal freedom. If you're going to get your personal freedom, they ain't giving it away. You gotta go get it. You gotta go earn it.
Test days come. They come over and over and over again. The purpose of these days is so that you can prove to yourself, not the rest of the world, that you are the kind of person that possesses the mental fortitude, the grit, the toughness, the perseverance, the discipline to get things done regardless of what the situation is. And if you become this kind of person who can get things done regardless of what's going on, regardless of what's going on in the economy, regardless of what's going on in your personal life, regardless of how you feel, regardless of the weather, how can you be stopped by anything? You cannot.
What you fighting for? What's your legacy? What you gonna do? You say you a champ, but do you practice like a champ? You say you a champ, do you fight like a champ? You say you a champ, do you have the mentality of a champ? I'm so strong mentally that when I get tired, that's when I get that dog. That's when I'm ready to go.
You gotta start thinking, I'm the greediest in the world.
Not only do I climb that doggone mountain, I enjoy climbing the mountain. I get a kick out the mountain. I get a kick out the weights. I get a kick out of fatigue. I get a kick out of the grind. I get a kick out of it.
There's an adaptation process that goes into mental hardening. The body has to know and get around with it. The adaptation process comes into suffering, comes into things you don't want to do.
It's when you have nothing left. It's when you depleted all your money, when all your energy gone, when you have nothing left, that's when it's showtime.
That you're always looking for a way to get over, always looking for a way that you can break through, always looking for a way that you can win, always looking for a way that you can strike a telling blow.
When you find a way out of no way, when you find breath that you don't have, when you find energy that did not exist, that's when you find a way.
If you guys mentally believe you can do it, your body will find a way to make it happen for you.
Because sometimes you'll get hurt and you gotta be able to bounce back. You gotta be resilient. You might pass the test on the 4th try, not the 1st, not the 2nd, not the 3rd, and you gotta have the ability to get back up and act like you ain't never failed in the first place. You not average. Why you being average? You not average. Why you being good when you not good? You great. You phenomenal. When you gonna step up to the plate?
You gotta build a level of excellence about yourself that stands the test of time, and no matter what happens in front of you, you are character true. I know who you are because you're the same person in adversity, in victory, in defeat. You're the same.
Beast mode is I will not stop when others stop. I will not quit when it gets hard. I will not complain. I will not worry. I will find a way when there is no way. I will make a door when there is no door. I will create finance when there is no finance. I will find an opportunity when it doesn't exist. But I will not be defeated.
With success, many will love you. The majority will despise you. And why is that? Because your success is shining down their missed opportunities. When they did it for all those thousands of hours in the lag with no one watching. So when the opportunity did come to show off what they've mastered and trained, they weren't ready for it. They were in self-control state and they watched it go live, hoping it comes again. I don't know if it comes again.
What do you do about the negative person talking behind your back and trying to bring you down? Ignore and outperform.
Use it for fuel. Use it for energy.
You got to block out them haters, man. You got to block out them naysayers.
Use everything this world has to give you for fuel.
So I want some action. That means when you wake up in the morning, there's 24 hours in a day. After you finish sleeping, I'm telling you to spend the rest of that time in action. And you're going to separate yourself from everybody. Why? Because most people, all they doing is talk, 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 talk.
You don't get to be number one by doing just enough. You gotta have a level of dedication that no one else is willing to have. And you gotta want it more than anyone else does.
If a person leaves at 6, you leave at 8. If a person makes 100 calls a day, you make 200 calls a day. If somebody practices 3 hours, you practice 5 hours. If somebody practices 6 hours, you practice 8 hours. If someone reads 2 books, you read 4 books. Just do a little bit more.
You are going against the cultural norm of average, the cultural norm of sitting up, the cultural norm of all of this average. When you go against that, you are going to naturally have resistance.
We have 80% more that we're not tapping into because in this other 80% is suffering, pain, failure, darkness, and then a whole bunch of light. But to get to this light, you gotta go through all of this.
If you really want your dream to become a reality, you need to give it up and go all in. And you are not here because you are still not all in. When you give effort, don't give no 70% later. You give 120%. Extreme effort. Why? Because I'm counting on me. My wife's counting on me. I don't have days to waste. You're not giving 120. You're giving 60. You're giving 50. And you won't with these people who've given sweat, who's giving blood, who's giving tears. You want what they paid for, and it ain't free. When I put forth 120% effort, can't nobody stop me. You can't be good and be a legend. You can't be great and be a legend. You gotta be phenomenal. I want you to push for legend. Your problem is, if the conditions are great, you great. When everything is favorable, you a beast. But when the conditions ain't right, you get smacked in the face. You gotta grow up.
You tell you about the greats, we find a way to make it happen.
The hard life is the one that pays. You just gotta quit being so fucking weak.
You gotta be a morning person, afternoon person, night person. You gotta be when you feel good person, when you sick person, when you tired person. Can you give me 120 and despite everything that's going on, greatness is in you. But the problem is, somebody's gotta push you. Somebody's gotta give you a reward. Somebody's got a project. You're not self-motivated. You have to stay in beast mode. You don't get here by quitting when you're tired. You get here by quitting when you finish, when you're done. You don't stop when you're tired. You stop when you're done. You stop when you complete it, when you execute it. Knowing is not enough, we must apply. Willing is not enough, we must do. Every single day, if you do what you say you're gonna do, you're gonna get what you dream to get. You gotta execute. You gotta execute. Execution is worship. If you want 120% results, then in every single area you're looking for this dream or this goal to become a reality, you gotta put forth the effort. I didn't get here being lazy. I didn't get here binge watching TV. I didn't get here taking days off. I didn't get here off being smart. I didn't get here being talented. I got here off that dome. I never quit. I never stopped. I never gave up. We just kept doing what we're doing. You got skill and you got will. Two total different things. You were born with certain things, but to get to the next level, to stay at the next level, you gotta have will. You have to compete. Every single game, you can give the same effort every game. This has everything to do with pride. You gotta take pride in that.
Your level of urgency and effort will dictate the level of changes you'll see.
Each level of hustle, of will, of action, of work is going to get you to a certain level, and then you're going to require more. It's going to take you evolving. You're going to have to expand. You're going to have to think differently. You're going to have to do different things. You're going to have to put in more work. You're going to have to read more. You're going to have to educate yourself more. You're going to have to do things that are going to help you create a new you.
See, it's easy to be on the bottom. It doesn't take any effort to be a loser. It doesn't take any motivation, any drive in order to stay down there on a low level. But it calls on everything in you, ladies and gentlemen. You have to harness your will to say, I'm going to challenge myself.
I just want you to go a little harder, put forth a little bit more energy, give me a little bit more effort. You keep going. You keep studying. You keep writing. You keep singing. You keep rapping. You keep boxing. You keep dribbling. You just keep on keeping on. It's your life. You are the captain of your ship. You are the master of your life. You can have it. You can do it. You can be it.
Make a list, execute the list, do that every single day for the next 10 years, and you will be where you want to be.
This world will test you to your very core. It'll knock you down and kick dirt in your face. And in these moments, the universe will be asking you one simple question. How bad? You really want it?
How bad? You're gonna lose all your money, all your friends, all the people you care about. And when that happens, do you still want it bad enough to keep getting back up and keep moving forward?
If you can find your why for doing this and for sticking it out, in spite of all the pain, you can find a way to win.
You've got to keep that belief alive. Your belief in why you're doing this. What is it that makes it worth it to you? To keep standing up in the face of all these setbacks.
If you can keep your belief alive, you can make it. That belief is what will keep you pushing forward. When you believe that there is a way, you will find a way. And if you can't find one, you will make one.
Because a person who has a belief in themselves and what they're doing and knows without a shadow of doubt that they deserve what they're fighting for, they won't ever back down.
No matter how rough it gets, no matter how many rejections they gotta go through, no matter how many people come up against them, they will keep standing and keep showing up to the battle. You're gonna have so many moments where you doubt yourself, where you think you can't go on. But I want you to remember, these rough times haven't come to stay. They've come to pass.
Not getting what you want can be the most valuable experience of your life. You got to think of each problem as a gift, an opportunity for growth and learning.
When you operate in chaos, when everything turns upside down for you, that's where true greatness is forged. These are the moments that define champions. These are the crucibles where the strongest versions of ourselves are shaped.
I need you to have the courage to act outwardly on those visions you see inwardly. That dream that you have, that life you want to live. You got to hold on to that idea so tightly that no matter how dark things get around you, you never let it go. You keep it clear and in sight and in focus inside your mind. The path to success isn't easy. It's going to break you down to your absolute lowest. But the difficulty itself is what prepares you and propels you to higher levels of achievement.
So when all hope seems lost, when the pain won't stop, when things you never thought would happen do happen, you find a reason to keep going. Because you're a warrior. You don't run from pain, you embrace it. Pain is a part of life, but suffering is a choice, and you choose to push through it. Tough times never last, but tough people do. And you have to decide that you're gonna be tough.
How do you hang in there during the hard, difficult times? You must have faith. You've got to believe in yourself. You've got to believe in your abilities. You got to believe in your vision, your dreams, your ideas unquestionably. When you have faith, that faith gives you patience. Patience that things will get better as you move forward over time. But you have to keep moving and keep plugging away.
These lessons are the building blocks of your success. Each failure, each rejection is a step closer to your goal. They're not just stumbling blocks, they're stepping stones. They're a step in the staircase in order to go higher.
When those terrible things happen to you, you're gonna have that negative voice, that internal dialogue telling you you're not good enough. Don't allow that voice to take over you. Engage in a battle with that negative part of yourself. Shut it down and block it out. And block out any other voice that tells you you can't make it. Listen to that voice inside you that says, it's possible. It's possible I can do this. I know I have what it takes.
I know that where I am right now is not where I'm gonna be for the rest of my life. I have so much more to give. I have the power to change everything for me. And I'm not gonna stop until I get what I want. Because I deserve it. I deserve a better life.
And you can't kind of want that thing. You gotta want it with every bit of your heart, every bit of your being. You gotta be willing to pour every bit of your energy, effort, and focus into it in order to make it happen. It's gonna push you harder than anything else ever has.
Make a personal declaration to wage war against being average. You have full control over your mind and therefore your life. It's about taking conscious, determined efforts to reinvent your life and committing wholeheartedly to your goal. When you're committed, you don't care about the odds. You don't care about the facts. You care only about the possibilities for you and your dream. And you gotta go into this knowing that it's not gonna be a smooth journey. There's gonna be sharp ridges you gotta climb over. There's gonna be betrayals and devastation constantly on the way. But if you really want it like you say you do, you'll do whatever the hell it takes to get through it. And if you do get through all the pain, all the trials, all the tears, all the long nights of worry, it will be so worth it.
No matter what happens to you in life, nothing can stop you. The only thing that can stop you is you.
What do when you have been telling yourself you can reach your goal and you losing every day? What do? When you've lost your spirit, you've lost your job, you lost everything. Life's been devastating. Once you are defeated in your mind, ladies and gentlemen, it's all over.
Your problem is your pain has identified you. Your pain has weakened you. You have a choice how you respond to your pain. And some of you in this room, for real, I'm just gonna be honest with you, you're getting wimpy on me. You're getting soft on me. You are not the only person that's been through a divorce, boo. Get over it. You're not the first one, you won't be the last one. You can turn that divorce into something. You're not the first one to lose your promotion and get fired. You're not the first one. You're not the first one they let go of. You won't be the last one. The question is, what you gonna do about it?
I know what it is to walk the floor and you don't know how you're gonna make it. When people no longer believe in you and you are all you got. And you got to say to yourself, when you fail again and again, they tell you no, sometimes with tears in your eyes, it's possible. When life stagger you, the thing that'll get you up on your knees and get you standing in the center of the ring and find something from somewhere deep down in to keep on slugging and keep on fighting is, it's possible. It's possible. If I just stand long enough, I can pull this off. When you're facing defeat, disappointment, seem like life has written you off and everybody say you can't do it. You don't have what it takes. All you need to affirm that in spite of this, it's possible that I can do it.
So what makes ET different than everybody else? Every year I just kept going. And I kept going. And I kept going. And I kept saying one day gonna be my day. But you know what I'm not gonna do? I'm not gonna quit in the process. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna give in.
You want your stuff? It's necessary you take responsibility for it. That you make it happen, that you don't give up, that you don't take any objection or disappointment or defeats personally, that you keep on keeping on, that you don't decide that I can't make it because you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, that you realize that's a part of the program.
The difference is not the genetic code, the potential. It's a guy that's willing to get knocked down, finally tell someone fortune, stand back up, the perseverance to see it through, the never say die attitude. And I go in there, man, and if I don't win, I showed up, I gave my valid effort. And tomorrow I'll do the same thing. And I'll continue to throw shit against the wall. Every day I'll throw more, then I'll try it again, and I'll never get comfortable.
I don't feel rejected. I tried. How do you feel rejected when you try? The person who didn't try should feel rejected. The person that didn't try should feel defeated. The person that didn't try should feel some type of way. I tried. I don't feel rejected. I feel good about myself. I tried. I don't feel bad. I gave it 120%. You can't never feel bad when you put forth 120%. You can't let the outcomes make you feel whack. I'm not whack. I'm a warrior. I'm not whack. You know how much I went through to make that thing happen? And I will not stop in the middle of the process. I will not be defeated. I will not be destroyed. I will take everything that happens in my life and I will allow the pain to push me to greatness. You will not break me. You will not stop me. The only way I lose is if I quit. And I've made up in my mind that I will get a reward for the pain that I go through. You can't defeat me.